And here we are back to my stream. That was just a crazy game. Purdue against Tennessee going into overtime, but here we are getting ready for Michigan versus Texas Tech. Tip-off in a few minutes from now as the number 3 seed, the Texas Tech Red Raiders, takes on the number 2 seeded Michigan Wolverines in action. With this one, I'll be doing play-by-play of March Madness games throughout the tournament into the national championship on Monday, April 8th. But here we are. Make sure to hit those like buttons, guys, down below. Subscribe as well to my channel as I call play-by-play to March Madness games. Looks like we have the tip-off in around 12 minutes from now or so. So they move back that tip-off time. Purdue against Tennessee. That one will be going into overtime, tied up at 82. Gonna update you guys on that score throughout as well. But let's look at this matchup. Number 2 seed in Michigan. They have a record of 30-6 overall. They've won the past 2 games that they've played in the tournament. As the first game, they beat number 15 seed in Montana. They beat them 74-55. As Charles Matthews for the Wolverines had 22 points and 10 rebounds in that game. He had a double-double. As Charles Matthews usually isn't really the leading rebounder on this team. He averages 5 rebounds per game. But John Teske is the leading rebounder for the Michigan Wolverines. Also, Teske ranks first in the Big Ten Conference in blocks per game, ranks 29th in the nation in blocks, just above 2 blocks per game for Teske. As in the last game, Michigan beat the number 10 seed, the Florida Gators, 64-49. As Michigan out-rebounded Florida in that one, 42-29. Xavier Simpson had 9 assists in action for the Michigan Wolverines. Jordan Poole adding in 19 points in that game. Make sure to hit those like buttons, guys, down below. Subscribe as well to my channel as I call play-by-play the March Madness games throughout the season. Let's go in here with key players for the Michigan Wolverines first before we take a look at the Texas Tech lineup. Leading the way, Xavier Simpson, the point guard from Michigan. He has 8 games with 10 or more assists on the season. For Xavier Simpson, ranks 2nd in the Big Ten Conference in assists per game. He also ranks 11th in all college basketball in assists per game. As Xavier Simpson is right behind Michigan State's Cassius Winston inside the Big Ten for assists per game. Also, Xavier Simpson ranks 5th in the Big Ten in steals per game. He averages 1.4 steals per game. As we look to the other players over here, how about Isaiah Livers coming off the bench for the Michigan Wolverines? He had a career-high 21 points. Shot the ball 4 for 6 from three-point range in the Big Ten semifinal tournament game against Minnesota a few weeks ago. And then, of course, Iggy Brazdeikis, the freshman forward from Canada on this team. You got to get Iggy going early for the Michigan Wolverines if you want to win this game. He has double-digit points in 30 games this season out of the 36 that he's played in. Of course, Iggy Brazdeikis will have to be a main factor if Michigan wants to walk away with this game as a W and move on to the Elite 8. As when Iggy Brazdeikis has been in the game and been able to contribute and score points, this Michigan team is tough to stop. But when he's in the lineup and he's held scoreless or so, like the first game that they played against Wisconsin, where their first loss in the season was this season, then it's going to be trouble for Michigan, usually taking out their leading scorer this season. But his average just keeps on dropping. He was averaging just above 15 points per game a few weeks ago. His average has dropped now to 14.8 points per game for Iggy Brazdeikis. And, of course, the other key player in there from Michigan, John Teske. He has 8 double-doubles this year for the center from Medina, Ohio. He's the junior on the squad. As John Teske is the leading rebounder on this team, also ranks 1st in the Big Ten in blocks per game. This is what Michigan does well in the season. They do a couple things well. They rank 2nd in all college basketball in fewest points allowed. They only allow around 58 points to their opponents this season on average. Michigan also ranks 6th in college basketball in fewest turnovers total this season, and they started out the season with a 17-0 record before they lost their first game against Wisconsin. So that's what's happening with the Michigan Wolverines, as this game basically calls defense all over it. Both of these teams allow less than 60 points per game on the season on average. They both, in respect of their numbers, are 2 and 3 when it comes to that. Michigan is 2nd in fewest points allowed, only allowing 58 points allowed to opponents. They're also the number 2 seed. Pretty ironic here how Texas Tech is the 3 seed, and they only allow their opponents to an average of 59.2 points per game. So second and third, respectively, in those numbers in fewest points allowed to opponents this season. Also, both of those teams rank 2 and 3 in the nation when it comes to that factor. We'll look at the Texas Tech Red Raiders now, as they are the 3 seed in this matchup. They have a 28-6 record. They've won the past 2 games in a row. In the first round, they beat number 14 seed in Northern Kentucky 72-57, as they shot the ball at 53% from the field that game. Jarrett Culver, the leading player on this team, had 29 points, 7 assists in the first round win for Texas Tech. In the second round game against Buffalo, they crushed them by 20 as they beat the number 6 seed, the Buffalo Bulls, 78-58. Jared Culver, once again, leading the way, 16 points and 10 rebounds. He had a double-double night in that game. And also on the Texas Tech team, Norrent Odiase. He had 14 points and 15 rebounds in the win against Buffalo in the last game. As we look to these key players on this team is basically all Jarrett Culver, the all-star point guard on the squad, first on the team in points scored per game, first on the team in rebounds, first on the team in assists. Jarrett Culver ranks 3rd in the Big 12 Conference in points per game, also 4th in the Big 12 Conference when it comes to assists per game. He averages just below 19 points per game and averages 6.5 rebounds per game and 3.8 assists per game. So Jarrett Culver, he has double-digit points in all but one of his games this season. So Texas Tech's played 34 games in the season. He has double-digit points in 33 of those. Let's see who else in this roster for Texas Tech is worth watching out for. How about Davide Moretti? He is the 2nd best free throw shooter in all of college basketball, right behind Kentucky's Tyler Hero. But what else he does well? He shoots the ball at 48% from three-point range, as Davide Moretti's 48% three-point range ranks 11th in all of college basketball and 1st in the Big 12 Conference right now, as Davide Moretti has double-digit points in the last 9 games for Texas Tech. He's also the sophomore from the country of Italy as well. So he's in this lineup for the Texas Tech Red Raiders. Also, Matt Mooney, another guard to watch out for in this game. He had a season-high 22 points against Texas back on January 12th. Matt Mooney ranks 2nd in the Big 12 Conference in steals per game, as he averages just below 2 steals per game. Tyreek Owens, he ranks 2nd in the Big 12 Conference in shooting percentage, shoots the ball at 60% from the field this season. He also ranks 2nd in the Big 12 Conference in blocks per game, just above 2 blocks per game. So that's a couple of information there about Texas Tech. They rank 3rd in fewest points allowed, only allowing opponents to an average of around 59.2 points per game this season. Texas right in front of them as the number 2 team in fewest points allowed on the season. Texas Tech, they started out the season with a 15-1 record. Their only loss was to the Duke Blue Devils in that 16-game start-off span, but after that they finished with a record of 26-6 before going into the tournament. We'll get to tip-off in around 5 minutes from now between both of these teams. Texas Tech going up against Michigan. If you haven't done so already, hit that like button down below. Subscribe as well to my channel. This is Behind the Arc Basketball on YouTube. Purdue in overtime against Tennessee. Purdue currently up with 2:20 left to go in OT. 89-84 against Tennessee. So Purdue is up by 5 at the moment in that game. We have 2 minutes left to go in that game in OT. Going to update you guys on that score as we get to action momentarily here. Texas Tech against Michigan, as I call play-by-play on March Madness games throughout the tournament. This is Behind the Arc Basketball on YouTube. So let's see what else Texas Tech does well. They also rank 2nd in the nation in opponent shooting defense, holding opponents to only shoot the ball at 37% from the floor this season. The only team better than them is the Houston Cougars, which is another 3 seed in the tournament. Houston plays in the late game tomorrow against Kentucky. What else is new for Texas Tech? They've held 8 of their opponents this season to 50 points or less scoring in their games, so that is a pretty good feat. This game speaks defense all over the map of both of these teams, which if you talk about Texas Tech, if you mean the football team, you probably wouldn't mean defense at all for the football team. That's not their strength. It's offense for the football team. But here we are, the basketball team. Defense this season. Michigan speaks defense. This should be a good game with this 2-3 matchup, evenly paired with both of these teams. What else for Texas Tech? Well, they rank tied for 15th in the nation with just below 5 blocks per game. And yeah, their leading shot blocker on this Texas Tech team, it goes out to Tariq Owens, who ranks second in the Big 12 Conference in blocks per game. But here we are, guys, like 3 minutes away from tip-off between Texas Tech and Michigan. Currently in OT, a minute and a half remaining. Purdue up against Tennessee, 91-86. And that one, as that game is winding down, looks like Purdue is going to move on to the Elite Eight. Hopefully they have that lead against Tennessee at the moment in that game. Going to update you guys on that score. If you're new to my channel, hit that like button down below. Subscribe as well. Going to get you guys into the action in a few minutes once this tips off. Michigan going up against Texas Tech. So let's look at the games that already took place today. Gonzaga in the last one beat Florida State 72-58. I had the call in that game. We got Tim back in the chat. What is up, man? Tim's had quite the day. He had scored a 99-yard touchdown today in his football game, and then he went to soccer, doing it all, football to soccer for Tim. Nice to have you join me back here in the chat. Oh, doing pretty well, Tim. Having a great day here. Yeah, that was crazy. I caught some of the Purdue against Tennessee game before CBS switched it off. But yeah, it looks like Purdue's gonna advance. Right now they're up by 6 with a minute left. So the score of that game, Purdue 92, Tennessee 86. And so you got Texas Tech in this game. Interesting. Yeah, this should be a good matchup between both of these teams. Michigan and Texas Tech. Both of these teams rank. Well, Texas Tech is third in the nation in fewest points allowed on their defense. And Michigan is right next to them, second in the nation in fewest points allowed on defense. So this should be a really good game. This game speaks even teams all over the map and what they can do. Jarrett Culver, it's all going to depend on him for Texas Tech to see what he can do for the Red Raiders in this one. But yeah, things looking Purdue's way against Tennessee. Purdue is up 92-87 with a minute and 7 left to go. Jordan Bowden for Tennessee just committed a foul. So it looks like Purdue will probably go to the free throw line in the bonus shooting shots. Ryan Klein, what a game for Purdue. 27 points today for the Boilermakers. As I'm looking at these updates here. Carson Edwards with 25 points, seeking the 5th Elite Eight appearance for the Purdue Boilermakers, their first time since 2000. So yeah, when Texas Tech comes to mind, one of the first words that you think for Texas Tech, what comes up to your mind? Offense. Patrick Mahomes could be in there as well. But yeah, when Texas Tech comes up to mind, you usually think offense. You usually think football team. And yeah, that's a complete 360 here. A different case with this basketball program this season. Defense is the word that stands out here for this Texas Tech Red Raiders program to describe this team on how they've played this season. A fantastic team on the defensive end. They've held 8 of their opponents this season to score 50 points or fewer in those games. That's a pretty good feat right there. So those teams that they played against, 8 of those teams scored into the 40s or 50 points even, basically. That's a pretty good feat for Texas Tech in this game. So Jarrett Culver is the main guy to rely on today for the Red Raiders. He leads the team in points scored per game, or rebounds per game, and assists per game. 94-87, just updating you guys on the Purdue versus Tennessee game. 50 seconds left to go in that one. Purdue makes the shot at the free throw line by Eric Hunter. Make it 95-87. Looks like Purdue's going to advance, guys. Other things going on right now. Looks like the defending World Series champions are getting crushed on their 11-game West Coast road trip to start off the season for the Boston Red Sox. It looks like the Seattle Mariners are going to move on to 3-0 on the season. They are up against the Red Sox 10-4 right now on MLB's opening day. So that's the final game tonight. But yeah, it doesn't look good for the Red Sox right now. Down by 6 against the Mariners in the bottom of the 6th in that game. 2 errors as well by the Sox in that game. But here we are, going to get you the action hopefully very soon. Texas Tech against Michigan. As the streams will continue tomorrow as well. I'll be back for more action. LSU against Michigan State. I'll have that game for you guys. And Virginia Tech going up against Duke. So I'll have both of those games on my stream. This is Behind the Arc Basketball on YouTube. Make sure to hit that like button down below. Subscribe as well to my channel as I call play-by-play the March Madness action throughout the rest of this season. So yeah, updating you guys on the score once again. Purdue currently up 95-89 with 38 seconds left to go against Tennessee. This game keeps on winding down, but Tennessee not quitting. And this one looks like Purdue might have to make it to 100 in order to get the W here. Leading the way for the Boilermakers, Ryan Klein, 27 points, having a career day, 7 for 10 shooting from behind the arc. Carson Edwards, 5 for 14 shooting from behind the arc. He also matches Ryan Klein with 27 points as well. Crazy tournament Carson Edwards for Purdue has had. As I'm just going to pull up these numbers of what Carson Edwards has produced these past 3 games in the tournament. We talk about Marcus Howard, guys. We talk about John Morant and Zion Williamson and RJ Barrett, but do we talk about Carson Edwards that much? Not really. This guy is the player to look out for in the tournament, and he has been dominant so far. 26 points in the first round against Old Dominion. 42 points against Villanova in the second round. Shot the ball 9 for 16 from behind the arc. During that game, 12 for 21 from the field. In this one, he is contributing once again. 21 points on the night, or 27 points. That's, 27 points on the night by Carson Edwards, tying his teammate Ryan Klein. Both of those guys having big days once again. 54 out of the 97 Purdue points have been by Klein or Edwards, as it looks like Purdue will win this game. They are up by 8 with 26 seconds left. So once that game goes final, I'll update you guys once again to let you guys know when that game has gone final. But what a game between both of those teams, as this is Behind the Arc Basketball on YouTube. Hit that like button down below. Subscribe as well to my channel as I call play-by-play on March Madness action. Texas Tech going up against Michigan. This game will tip off really shortly here on my channel. So yeah, just got the update. 97-92, Purdue is up there. They might have to get 100 today. Ryan Klein just fouled out though for Purdue. Carson Edwards is still in the game. So 5-point lead by Purdue with 19 seconds remaining in that one. As I do play-by-play on March Madness games, feel free to hit that like button down below. Subscribe as well. We should be back to action with Texas Tech and Michigan here in this game momentarily, as we should be getting this tip-off here any minute from now. We also got Little Man Knows Sports in the chat. What is up, Little Man Knows Sports? Yeah, almost at 100. This is great. 2 months on YouTube, almost at 100. Keep on working it every single day here on my streams. After the tournament is finished, I'll be video editing some of like the top videos of like college basketball with like craziest endings throughout the season. I'll be doing some video editing in there. I'll also be tuning to do play-by-play for some of the NBA games when I have a chance. So I'll keep on going after this. And then once the NBA is finished, it'll be all video editing until like the first week in November when college hoops comes back on. So I'll be uploading some like highlight videos in there from time to time as well. I've been working on the college basketball greatest comebacks video of 2019 of like the largest comebacks, like the Duke against Louisville comeback by 23 points. There were a couple of other teams that came back by 20 points or above. Iowa almost made me do another highlight video of them, but yeah, they couldn't close it out against Tennessee. One of the things you have to do, you have to close out the games and get the W, but Iowa couldn't do that. If so, that would have been crazy to upload that video, but they couldn't get it done. But here we are, Texas Tech in the red jerseys, Michigan in the yellow for tonight. We are about to get ready to go to tip-off here in this one. If you haven't done so already, hit that like button down below. Subscribe as well to my channel on Behind the Arc Basketball on YouTube. Gonna update you guys with the score here. 11 seconds remaining. Purdue is up 98-92 against Tennessee. So it looks like Purdue will be moving on to the Elite Eight. But here we are, Texas Tech against Michigan. Teskey here with a tip going up against Tariq Owens for Texas Tech. So here we are getting ready for the tip-off at center court at the March Madness logo. Yellow jerseys by Michigan with a dark blue lettering. Red jerseys by Texas Tech with a white lettering. Here we are as the ref will throw up the ball for the tip-off, and Texas Tech controls the tip. Here we are to action. Hit that like button, guys. Subscribe to my channel. I call play-by-play on March Madness games. The Red Raiders with it first. They have it at the top of the key. They pass it left wing of the perimeter here to Matt Mooney. Mooney puts the ball into the hands of Jarrett Culver. The leading scorer, the leading assist man, and the leading rebounder for Texas Tech. Mooney, feed away, and he banks it home right there. 2-0 Texas Tech. Michigan with the ball. They take it past the timeline. We just got started. As the Wolverines have the ball into the hands of Jordan Poole. Right wing perimeter now. And now they try to dribble inside with the ball. Xavier Simpson feeds it back outside to Brazdeikis. Brazdeikis moves that ball, trying to go inside here. Low post. They kick it back outside. Left wing perimeter, Matthews. And the ball stolen away from Matthews. Texas Tech with the ball. Right wing perimeter. Davide Moretti underneath the basket. Feeds it left corner three. Red Raiders, no good. And the offensive rebound, though, goes to Odiase. So Odiase at Texas Tech gets the offensive board. Red Raiders with the ball. They have it at the top of the key here with Odiase. Norrentz Odiase passes left wing perimeter. Moretti pushes it back outside. Left wing three. No good. And the fight for the rebound. Battle for Texas Tech with another. No good. Too strong. Missed the shot. Finally, Michigan gets the board. 2-0. Red Raiders currently up in this game as we just get started. CBS having trouble with their scoreboard graphic. Looks like we're under 19 minutes left remaining in this game, though. 2-0. Michigan with the ball top of the key. Charles Matthews. Matthews floats it up over the top. The ball goes out of bounds as that one was intended for John Teskey. It's a turnover there by Michigan. Ball go back to Texas Tech. So I'm going to update you guys with a score in this one. Looks like we have around like 18-10 left to go in the first. Texas Tech with the ball. There's no scoreboard loaded on the CBS graphic here, as we're still here to action. Left wing perimeter for the Red Raiders. They have the ball, and they're trying to make their move inside. Mooney floats up the shot. No good. And a rebound goes to John Teskey of Michigan. Teskey with the ball puts it into the hands of Xavier Simpson. Simpson takes it past the timeline here for the Wolverines. He passes it top of the key here to Jordan Poole. Now left wing perimeter. Charles Matthews passes top of the key to Teskey. Teskey feeds the ball inside. Nice backdoor cut up and in right there by Michigan. Tied up at 2 as that shot gets banked home for Jordan Poole. 2-2 right now in this one as Michigan gets their first points in this game. Texas Tech with the ball. They have it with Moretti at the top of the key. 17-10 left to go. If you're new to my channel, make sure to hit that like button down below. Subscribe as well. They pass it off right side baseline for the Red Raiders. A nice move inside here by Odiase, and he tried to feed it to Tariq Owens. No good. He was stuffed at the rim. Rebounded by Michigan. They have the ball. Top of the key with Charles Matthews. And now it's Xavier Simpson with the ball. Simpson making his move inside. Floater, no good. And battle for the rebound. Think it was last touch. We'll see what the refs roll here. 16:49 left to go in the first. Tariq Owens was guilty of the foul on the play as John Teskey was trying to rebound it from Michigan. He had control of it, and then he got swatted out of bounds, but there was a foul committed by Tariq Owens of Texas Tech. If you're new to my channel, make sure to hit that like button down below. Subscribe as well. We got Midwest Sports back in the chat. What is up, man? Thank you so much for joining me back here, Midwest Sports as well. 2-2 right now. We have 16:49 left to go. Almost at 100 subs, so if you know anybody who likes basketball, feel free to send them my way. We're almost here. 2 months on YouTube, almost 100 subs here on the channel, tied up at 2, with 2 top 5 defenses in all college basketball going right at it. So Tariq Owens of Texas Tech just committed a foul on the last play of this game. Scores 4-2 at the moment. So let's look at these leading scores so far. For Texas Tech, the leading scorer, Matt Mooney, who has 2 points, leading the way. There's only been 2 points scored by both of the teams. Jordan Poole with 2 right now for Michigan. So that's who has the 2 points in charge for this game. Texas Tech shooting 1 for 6 from the field to start it off. Cold shooting. They've got a couple of those offensive rebounds, though. 2 offensive rebounds on one of those plays. Michigan, 1 for 2 shooting from the field. Texas Tech's mostly had the possession with the ball throughout the majority of this game. They've had possession with it, but Michigan hasn't been able to take that many shots. Also, Michigan's out-rebounded Texas Tech, though, 4-2. However, both of those 2 rebounds have been on the offensive side by Texas Tech. Looking like the refs are still at the discussion board, looking at stuff here in the last foul committed by Texas Tech as John Teskew is trying to go for the rebound from Michigan. But Tariq Owens got charged with a foul by Texas Tech. So let's see what happens here. It will be Michigan on the inbound. So Michigan will inbound the ball here when we do get back to action. 16:49 left to go. Michigan to inbound pass it here with Xavier Simpson. He puts that ball under the basket. They forgot to cover him up, and then he banks it home. Charles Matthews all alone. 4-2 right now. 4-2, Michigan with a lead. 16:30 left to go. Texas Tech, top of the key here. They have it right wing of the perimeter. Davide Moretti. He passes it right wing here to Francis. Brandon Francis takes the fadeaway from the back. No good. That one's rebounded by Michigan. Charles Matthews with the ball. Takes it past the timeline into the hands of Simpson. Simpson back to Matthews. Top of the key here. With the ball, takes the deep 2 left elbow jumper. No good. Rebounded by Texas Tech. 4-2 to score. Michigan up by 2. 15:50 left to go. Texas Tech passes it. And, almost out of bounds, but they do save it, though. They have it at the left wing of the perimeter. They pass it off to the top of the key here for the Red Raiders. Jarrett Culver with the ball, and it's a turnover under the basket there by Texas Tech. Michigan with the ball back. 15:35 left to go. Left side baseline. Xavier Simpson dribbling, trying to make the move inside. He kicked the ball, and it goes out of bounds as he was trying to make a move right there on Lorenzo Diasse, and the ball gets kicked out of bounds by Xavier Simpson. So first TV timeout on the court right here. 4-2 to score. Michigan currently leading by 2. This is Behind the Arc Basketball on YouTube. Make sure to hit that like button down below. Subscribe as well. So 4-2 right now the score. Going to update you guys with Purdue against Tennessee. That one, we'll see if it went final. Yes, it did. Purdue moving on to the Elite 8. They've beat Tennessee 99-94 today. So here we are, Ryan Klein with 27 points. And also, I'm going to check the box score. I believe Carson Edwards also had 20. No, he had 29. So leading the way, 29 points. Carson Edwards. Once again, this is crazy what Edwards has done in the tournament this season in 3 games for the Purdue Boilermakers. 26 points against Old Dominion in the first round. 42 points he dropped against Villanova in the round of 32. And tonight against Tennessee, Carson Edwards finishes with an additional 29. So what a great tournament Carson Edwards has had for the Purdue Boilermakers. Currently on the TV timeout. Feel free to hit that like button down below. Subscribe as well to my channel as I call play-by-play on March Madness games throughout the rest of the season here. Elite 8 this weekend. So Carson Edwards is averaging 32 points in 3 of his tournament games this season. That is a crazy number right now. But yeah, this game should be pretty hyped up. Jarrett Culver of Texas Tech going up against Michigan in this one. Should be a really good game between both of these teams. We're currently on a TV timeout. If you haven't done so already, hit that like button down below, subscribe, as well as I call play-by-play of March Madness games, so stay in the know with my channel. This is Behind the Arc Basketball on YouTube. And also, I'll be back tomorrow. See, I'll be back tomorrow with 2 more games. LSU against Michigan State. That's the first game. Second game will be Duke against Virginia Tech, as Duke tries to take on Virginia Tech again. They lost to them earlier in the season without Zion. Justin Robinson was also not in the game for Texas Tech, but both of those players will be back for tomorrow's Sweet 16 matchup. Should be a good one between both of those teams. I'll have that stream for you guys tomorrow after the conclusion of LSU versus Michigan State. But here we are, Michigan up by 2, 4-2 against Texas Tech. So we have 15:35 left to go. I'm going to update you guys here with a score. If you haven't done so already, hit that like button down below, subscribe, as well as I call play-by-play of March Madness games throughout the tournaments. So here we are, back to action. Texas Tech with the ball off the inbound. 15.5 left to go in the first. 4-2 to score. Texas Tech takes it past the timeline when more ready. He puts that ball into the hands of his teammate right there, Odiase, and now right wing perimeter, Brandon Francis. We got a foul called on the play. Francis passed that one inside the low post. Foul committed by Michigan on the play. 15:19 left to go. 4-2 to score. And Texas Tech will go to the free throw line here to shoot 2. Oh, hi, how are you? Miss Momo, thank you so much for joining me back here. Davide Moretti, first shot at the free throw line goes down for the Italian, as he hit that one down right there. 4-3 the score. As this game just got started a few minutes ago. Texas Tech and Michigan. We have 15:19 left to go at the free throw line. Again, second shot goes down. We have a tie game. We're tied up at 4 right now. Thank you so much for joining me. If you haven't done so already, hit that like button down below, subscribe as well. So here we are, back to action. Michigan with the ball top of the key with John Teske. He passes it left wing perimeter. Jordan Poole at the top of the key passes it to Brazdeikis. Iggy Brazdeikis hands it off to Teske and back to Brazdeikis. Deep 3, no good by Iggy, but Texas Tech tried to rebound it and they bobbled the ball. It goes out of bounds, so Michigan will get the ball here back on the inbounds. Tied up at 4, 14:58 left to go in the first. So Michigan will get the ball here back on the inbounds. And they do. They pass it off to Iggy, right corner of that perimeter here for Iggy. And he tried to feed it inside. It's stolen away. Ball stolen away here by Texas Tech as they take it past the timeline. They have it here at the top of the key with Matt Mooney. Mooney passes it. Top of the key here. Tariq Owens. He passes it left wing perimeter back to Mooney. Mooney guarded by Teske for a moment. And then he passes it off left wing. Brandon Francis. Francis looking for a man who's open. Backdoor cut right there. Ball goes over his head. Tipped out of bounds, but it's the last tip by Michigan. So Texas Tech will get the ball here back on the inbounds. Not a whole lot of scoring going on in this game. 4-4 right now. 14:24 left to go right now. So both of these defenses really came to play in this game. So here we are getting ready to go back to action. Texas Tech will pass in the inbound. Lob tap pass in the key. Fade away. It was an air ball right there by Jarrett Culver in Michigan. Michigan with a great defensive stand right there, as Texas Tech did get the offensive board, but a shot clock violation, so Michigan will get the ball back. The winner of this game takes on Gonzaga on Saturday on TBS. Michigan with the ball as they take it past that timeline. So we got Eli Brooks, number 55, into the game here for the Wolverines. Passes it left wing perimeter, Charles Matthews. He passes top of the key to Teske, now right wing. Iggy Brazdeikis. Brazdeikis tried to pass it to Simpson. Almost stolen, but Simpson gets it back. Simpson now floater inside. No good. Rebounded by Teske underneath the basket. Passes it top of the key, 3 Brooks. No good. And another rebound by Teske. Teske passes it to the right wing perimeter. Iggy Brazdeikis. No, hits the rim short. Rebounded by the Red Raiders. A couple misses there. 4-4 right now. 13:40 left to go. Offenses aren't clicking for both of the teams. Dribbling baseline underneath the basket. Oh, huge block right there by Michigan. They take it past the timeline. Left wing perimeter. Lob pass over the top and a foul call. Trying to go for the alley-oop to John Teskey, but he gets fouled on the play with 13:29 left to go in the first. A lot of good action in this game, just no shots falling. That was a big block, though, by Michigan. Score 4-4 right now. 13:29 left to go in the first. Michigan will get the inbound here, as that foul was intended on the pass, not the shot. So they get the inbound. Timeout called on the court. I think they're going to look at it right here. Let's look at these leading scores right now. Only 2 points by the leading scorer. There's 2 players for Texas Tech, 2 players by Michigan. Matt Mooney, 2 points right now for Texas Tech, scored the first bucket of the game. 2 points by Davide Moretti as well. Jarrett Culver has not scored a single point, shooting the ball 0 for 3 from the field. For Michigan, the leading scores look like this. 2 points, Charles Matthews at the moment. Jordan Poole with 2 points as well for the Wolverines. So the refs at the reviewing stand seeing if there was a foul committed right underneath the play. So that's what they're looking for at the moment for those players right now. Seeing if anything went on in the moment currently. But we're going to get back to action momentarily in this one. So 4-4 to score, 13:29 left to go in the first. As it should be an inbound by Michigan when we do get back to action. So here we are. Xavier Simpson will inbound pass the ball here to the Wolverines. Looking for somebody who's open. He does. He passes it right corner of the three-point perimeter to Isaiah Livers. Isaiah Livers had that career high game, 21 points. He went 4 for 6 from three-point range against Minnesota in the Big Ten semis. Matthews, now he passes it inside to Simpson. Simpson, no good on a hook shot layup, rebounded by Texas Tech. The shots are just not falling for both of these teams right here. 4-4, 13 minutes left to go. Texas Tech trying to move inside. They bank one home right there. Jarrett Culver getting one to go. 6-4, Texas Tech currently up. We have 12:50 left to go before halftime. Michigan with the ball, top of the key, left wing now, Eli Brooks. Brooks passes top of the key. They feed it down inside the low post. And, that one is blocked from behind. No good by Colin Castleton. Couldn't even get that shot off, blocked from behind by Texas Tech. The Red Raiders with the ball. They have it at the top of the key. Jared Culver. Culver now with the ball. Passes it right wing perimeter. Fakes out the defender. Corpview. No good by Deshaun Corpview. And a rebounded by Michigan. 0 points for Michigan in the last 4.5 minutes. They have the ball now, top of the key. They pass it off right wing of the perimeter. Eli Brooks called with an offensive foul. The ball will go back to Michigan, or ball will go back to Texas Tech here. As Texas Tech just took the charge on the last play. We have 12:10 left to go. 6-4 to score at this moment. Xavier Simpson just checked out of the game here for the Michigan Wolverines. Coming in for Texas Tech, Kyler Edwards. He's number 0 for Texas Tech checking into the game. So it was a foul on the play. I thought it was a charge foul. It wasn't, though. It was a defensive foul on the play, so it looked like a charge on it, but here we are back to action. Michigan inside. They float up the shot up and in. Right there, tie this game up at 6. 6 apiece right now for both of these teams as Texas Tech takes the ball past the timeline. 11:40 left to go in the first. They have it right wing in that three-point perimeter for the Red Raiders. They pass it left corner. No good. He almost hit the 3 ball, but rattled out by Brandon Francis. Rebounded by Michigan. Michigan takes it past the timeline here. 3 for 11 shooting from the field right now by the Wolverines. 2 for 12 by the Red Raiders. They have it at the top of the key with Charles Matthews. Feeds it down inside the low post, and that is a turnover on the play. 6 even right now between both of these teams. Going to update you guys with a score. If you haven't done so already, hit that like button down below. Subscribe as well. We have 11:19 left to go before halftime. Texas Tech and Michigan. This is Behind the Arc Basketball on YouTube. So here we are, guys. 6-6 right now. Lots of defense going on. Low-scoring game. Two for 12 shooting from the field so far in this TV timeout by Texas Tech. 3 for 11 by Michigan at this point. Both of these teams' shooting percentages are really low at this point. 27% shooting by Michigan, 17% shooting by Texas Tech. Texas Tech went to the free throw line. They were a perfect 2 for 2 at the charity stripe. And the rebounding so far in this game, 11 rebounds by Michigan, 7 rebounds by Texas Tech. If you're new to the channel, make sure to hit that like button down below. Subscribe as well, as I'm almost up to 100 subs. So let's keep this channel up and growing and moving as well throughout the tournament into the NCAA March Madness Championship on Monday, April 8th. I'll be calling both of the games tomorrow, starting off with LSU against Michigan State. That's the first game tomorrow around 7:10. And then the next game right after the conclusion of that one, Duke taking on Virginia Tech once again. But here we are during a commercial break, tied up at 6. Very low scoring between two really well defensive teams this season. Top 5 defensive teams in Michigan and Texas Tech. Leading the way for Texas Tech, well, you have 3 scorers tied up at 2 points so far. Matt Mooney with 2, Jarrett Culver with 2, Davide Moretti with 2. Davide Moretti already in a little bit of foul trouble for Texas Tech. He has 2 personal fouls committed by him at this stage of the game. Also for Michigan, the leading scorer is 4 points. That is Charles Matthews. Make sure to hit that like button down below. Subscribe as well to my channel as I call play-by-play the March Madness games. 2 points chipping in Jordan Poole for the Michigan Wolverines. So that's how the scoring distribution has gone throughout. 4 rebounds by John Teske, leading the way in the rebounding category for Michigan. They have 11 rebounds as a team for Michigan, 7 rebounds as a team here by Texas Tech. So we're going to get back to action momentarily here. 6-6 to score, 11:19 left to go when we do. Purdue coming out victorious against Tennessee around like 25 minutes ago, 99-94. So Purdue moves on to the Elite 8. The winner of this game will take on Gonzaga in the Elite 8. Jared Culver so far, only 2 points to show for. Charles Matthews leading the way for Michigan with 4 points. Tons of defense in this game so far with both of these teams. This game speaks defense altogether. Fewest points allowed. Both of these teams are 2 and 3 respectively, right behind Virginia. Michigan only allows 58.2 points per game. Texas Tech just a point higher, 59.2 points per game to opponents. Virginia, of course, the #1 team with fewest points allowed, only allowing opponents to 55 points per game. Here we are getting ready to go back to action. Hit that like button down below. Subscribe if you're new to the channel. Michigan here with the inbound. So here we are. Xavier Simpson to pass it underneath the basket. He passes it off to Matthews. Matthews backing his way inside the low post. Feeds the ball inside the Teske. Kicks it back out on top. And bad pass by John Teske. It goes wide to the left of Xavier Simpson, and it goes out of bounds. John Beilein not happy about that one. 5 turnovers tonight by Michigan. They've had an average of 11 so far in the tournament throughout their first 2 games. Texas Tech with the ball at the free throw circle with Jarrett Culver. Passes it back top of the key with Brandon Francis. 1 shot made from the field in the last 8 minutes, 40 seconds by Texas Tech. Deep 2. It's an air ball. Not even close right there by the Red Raiders. Rebounded by Michigan here. Both of these teams shooting ugly from the field. Trying to take this inside. Right elbow jumper. No good by Matthews. Rebounded by the Red Raiders. 10:35 left to go. And this game is tied up at 6. Not a whole lot of points here. Culver at the top of the key with the ball. He passes it off. Top of the key with Mooney. Matt Mooney dribbling with the ball with 10:25 left to go in the first. He's at the right wing trying to take it inside right baseline. Feeds that ball underneath the basket. Puts it up and in. Right there, but the foul is called with 10:22 left to go in the first. Looked like there was a foul right before. Yeah, so foul before the shot was taken, so don't count the bucket. Texas Tech will inbound it right here. So the shot would not go on the play for Texas Tech by Tariq Owens. 10:22 left to go in the first. We are still tied up at 6. Texas Tech with the inbound, right baseline jumper, no good. And rebounded by Michigan. Still tied up at 6 here. Simpson takes the ball past the timeline. 3 for 12 shooting from the field so far by Michigan. 2 for 14 by Texas Tech. They pass it. Top of the key, Teskey. Passes that one, right wing perimeter. With the ball now, Isaiah Livers. Isaiah Livers passes it off. Top of the key with Teskey. Passes left wing perimeter. Simpson trying to take it inside. Stolen away by Texas Tech. Here we go. Fast break in. They do a pull-up jumper. No good. Bad shot selection there by the Red Raiders. Couldn't even get the rebound as well. Rebounded by Michigan. They have the ball right side baseline. They pass it back. Top of the key with Simpson. Simpson passes it right wing 3. No good from the outside by Jordan Poole. Rebounded by Texas Tech. 9.5 left to go. The scoring drought continues. We're still tied up at 6, guys. Texas Tech dribbling inside. Almost stolen away by Michigan, but they have it. Jumper, right baseline. Finally, they convert on an open shot and hit it home. Deep, right baseline 2 goes down for Texas Tech. It seems like we're on a scoring spree here, guys. 8-6 now. 9 minutes left to go in the first. Hit that like button down below. Subscribe as well to my channel. Michigan trying to drive low post with the ball, and looks like Isaiah Livers is fouled on the play. Both of these teams now, the shooting percentages are at like season lows. They have to be 18.8%. So basically 19% shooting from the field by Texas Tech so far. 23% shooting from the floor so far by Michigan. Michigan will get the inbound here. So we do get back to action momentarily. We have another game going on in college basketball. Oregon against Virginia will tip off in around 10 minutes from now. Here we are back to action. Michigan with the inbound. They're at the right wing of that 3-point perimeter with Xavier Simpson. Simpson dribbling with the ball. Simpson now, right wing perimeter, looking for somebody's open. He passes it off now to the top of the key, left wing dribbling. Jordan Poole, step back 3 by Poole. No good. Battle for the rebound underneath. And a big body right there. Texas Tech has it. Deshaun Corprew grabs the rebound. 8-6, 8.5 left to go in the first. The Red Raiders take it past the timeline. They're at the left wing of the 3-point perimeter. Texas Tech with the ball, trying to make their move inside. They pass it, kick it back outside, left corner 3, dropping it down by the Italian Davide Moretti. 11-6 right now, Red Raiders. Davide Moretti ranking 11th in all college basketball with that 48% 3-point shooting percentage, also ranking 1st in the Big 12 Conference. Michigan going down low, post right there, hitting that shot home. Finally, we got some points on the board. 7:55 left to go in the first. 11-8 to score. Texas Tech with the ball. They have it. Top of the key. They pass it right wing perimeter. Deshaun Corprew. Corprew passes it. Jumper at the free throw circle. No good. That shot could not go by Tariq Owens. Rebounded by Michigan. 7:35 left to go in the first. Big pass underneath the basket, but he could not finish. Charles Matthews too strong off the backboard. Rebounded by Texas Tech. Texas Tech here. Top of the key. They pass it left wing of the 3-point perimeter. Red Raiders now back to the top of the key with Davide Moretti. 4 for 18 shooting today by Texas Tech. Michigan a tad better. 4 for 16 right now. They have it. Top of the key dribbling. Brandon Francis. He passes left wing perimeter here for the Red Raiders. Moving the ball. Left baseline jumper. No good. Off the top of the iron. Rebounded by Brazdeikis. Michigan with the ball. 7 minutes left to go before halftime in this very low scoring game. Michigan with 6:50 left remaining before the half. Right wing of the 3-point perimeter. Simpson passes it. Brazdeikis. Iggy trying to make his move. Step back 3 right wing. No good. Hit the front part of the iron. Rebounded by Texas Tech. 6:35 left to go before halftime. Texas Tech with the ball. Top of the key. They dribble. Moretti passes it. They have an open shot at the top of the key. They won't take it, though, with Tariq Owens. He's not a 3-point shooter. That's why. Texas Tech tried to pass it inside. Lob pass deflected. Stolen away by Michigan. Michigan with the ball. Right wing of the 3-point perimeter. They pass it off. Top of the key. Making their move outside the perimeter. 3-pointer. Isaiah Livers, no good. Could not deliver there. Rebounded by Texas Tech. 6:05 left to go, guys. None of these shots are falling. Moretti with the ball. He takes it past the timeline for the Red Raiders. Texas Tech trying to make their move. Moretti passes that one back. Spin move. Low post. Up and in. He banks it home by Corprew. 13-8. Finally, a point on the board and more. 5:45 left to go in this game before halftime. 5-point lead as well by Texas Tech. Michigan with the ball. Left wing of the three-point perimeter. They pass it right wing. Brazdakis trying to dribble underneath the bucket. Takes it home off the glass by Iggy. That's what Iggy has to do in this game right now. He's got to do that. Quick moves to the basket like he just did. 13-10, 5:20 left to go before halftime. Texas Tech with the ball, right wing in that three-point perimeter. They pass it off. Tariq Owens at the top of the key. Now they pass a right wing perimeter with the ball. Brandon Francis. Francis dribbling, and he tried to feed that one to the free throw circle. Stolen by Michigan. Taking it home, laying it up and in. Xavier Simpson. With 5:06 left to go in the first, but I think let's check the score here. I think there was a foul right before that on the play, so we'll see if it counted. But right now, 13-10. So Xavier Simpson stole the ball, but Texas Tech did foul him from behind on the last play. So still 13-10 right now. Going to update you guys with the score. Almost 5 minutes left to go before halftime. Right now, 5:09 left to go. 13-10. Very low scoring between Texas Tech and Michigan. Here we are, TV timeout. Going to update you guys with a score here. 25% shooting from the floor right now by Texas Tech. Michigan a tad better at 26%. As well as that shooting from the floor, Texas Tech is 5 for 20. Michigan's 5 for 19. What else is going on in this game? Michigan is 0 for 7 from three-point range. Texas Tech is 1 for 5 with a big shot that went down by Davide Moretti. He's the leading scorer for the Red Raiders with 5 points. Charles Matthews with 4 points right now for the Michigan Wolverines. 16 rebounds by Michigan, only 13 rebounds by Texas Tech, so a +3 on the boards currently by Michigan. 6 turnovers, though, by Michigan. They averaged, I think, 11 turnovers in their first 2 games of the tournament. Already 6 right now, already to that halfway point. 4 turnovers so far by Texas Tech. Michigan is one of the teams that commits the fewest fouls throughout the season as well. And right now they've only committed 2 fouls total in this first half. Texas Tech with 6 committed fouls. But, a lot of ugly numbers here on the board with the shooting percentages. Not doing so well for both of these squads. That's why we have a tight, close game, 13-10 at the moment. Davide Moretti, 5 points for Texas Tech. 2 points, 4 players chipping in by Texas Tech. 2 of them off the bench, 2 of them in the starting lineup. Matt Mooney, 2 points. Jarrett Culver with 2 points. And then it looks like Deshaun Corprew has 2 points as well. And Brandon Francis adding in 2 points by the Red Raiders. For the Michigan Wolverines, the leading scorers look like this. 4 points leading the way. Jordan Poole and Charles Matthews, both with 4 points right now for Michigan. Iggy Brazdakis with 2 points. Chipping in for the Wolverines at the moment. So that's what the leading scores look like. John Teskey with 4 rebounds. Iggy Brazdakis with 4 rebounds. We are currently on a commercial break. That game is not tipped off either. Oregon against Virginia. It should be tipping off in a few minutes from now. (13-10) is the score. We have 5:09 left to go when we do get back into this game. Hit that like button if you haven't done so already. Subscribe as well to my channel as I call play-by-play on March Madness games throughout the tournament. This is Behind the Arc Basketball on YouTube. So Texas Tech seeking their second Elite 8 appearance in program history. Last season was their first when they beat Purdue in the Sweet 16. Purdue going back to the Elite 8. They beat Tennessee today in OT. But here we are, getting ready to go back to action. Michigan with the ball off the inbounds. They pass a right wing perimeter now to the top of the key. Xavier Simpson passes left wing to Jordan Poole, back to Simpson. He passes right wing of that perimeter once again for Michigan. Dribbling baseline, they feed it back to Teskey. John Teskey, oh, he almost hit the three-pointer. No good. Iggy with an offensive rebound. Couldn't put it back, and it's stolen from behind him on the second offensive rebound by Texas Tech. Second chance points, and you can't put it away. 13-10 right now. 4.5 left to go. The Red Raiders with the ball left wing of that three-point perimeter. Texas Tech trying to make a move baseline. Underneath the basket, and they bank it home up and in. 15-10. 4:15 left to go in this one before halftime. Michigan with the ball. They have it left wing. Now they're trying to dribble left baseline underneath the basket. What a shot by Iggy Brazdeikis. It goes down as he fell to the ground, but he got it to go. 15-12 right now. Yeah, you need to get Iggy more involved in this game. That's what they got to do. 3:50 left to go before halftime. It's a three-point game. Texas Tech left wing three. They take the three ball. No good off the top of the iron. Rebounded here by Michigan. Jordan Poole with the rebounds. They have it at the top of the key. Poole dribbling with the ball. Thought about doing a step back. Feeds the ball inside of Teskey. And John Teskey gets fouled. He'll go to the free throw line to shoot two. With 3:35 left to go. Yeah, close game here, but not a whole lot of offense. 3:35 left to go when we do get back to action here. It's only 15-12 right now with the scoring. Both of these shooting percentages, though, have gotten better, so that is a good sign at the moment. 27%. Both of these teams are even shooting the ball, both of them. 6 for 22 from the floor. The difference why Texas Tech has the lead has been a three-point shot from the outside. 1 for 6 so far shooting the ball from the outside by Texas Tech. Michigan shooting a 0 from behind the arc. They are 0 for 8 so far. So that's what's going on in this game. Let's look at some of the other stats here. Rebounding advantage going to Michigan. +4 on the boards right now. 18-14 at this stage of the game. Also in there is the turnovers. Michigan has 6 turnovers so far. Texas Tech with 4. We're currently on a commercial break. 3-point lead at the moment by Texas Tech. Will get back to action with 3:35 left to go. John Teskey will be at the free throw line to shoot 2 shots for the Wolverines. Before you go, make sure to hit that like button down below. Subscribe as well to my channel as I do play-by-play the March Madness games throughout the rest of the tournament. And, of course, into the National Championship on Monday, April 8th. But here we are. Let's look at the leading scores here since we're at a TV timeout. Leading the way from Michigan, it's 3 players with 4 points right now. Jordan Poole, Charles Matthews, and Iggy Brazdeikis all have 4 points for the Wolverines. Texas Tech, the leading scorer right now. 5 points, Davide Moretti leading the way for the Red Raiders. 4 points by Jarrett Culver in this one. And then 2 points chipping in Matt Mooney, Deshaun Corprew, and Brandon Francis. So that's how both of these teams compare at the moment. Let's look at the other games going on. Virginia against Oregon just got started. 4-3, Virginia's up with 17.5 left to go against Oregon in that one. So that game just got started between both of these teams. Currently on a commercial break in a very, very low scoring game here. 15-12, Texas Tech is up. Ooh. So 15-12 right now. We're going to get back to action momentarily between both of these teams as this is Behind the Arc Basketball on YouTube. Hit that like button, guys. Down below, subscribe as well to my channel. Yeah, so the game leading scorer right now, Davide Moretti, is 5 points. He has 1 shot converted from the floor. Davide Moretti, a perfect 2 for 2 from the free throw line, and he hit a 3-point shot. Here's John Teskey at the free throw line. First shot, no good. That is going to hurt as far as points on the board. We know both of these teams' top 5 defenses, 3 and 2 respectively, and least points allowed. We knew this is going to be a good defensive game, but we didn't expect this. Second shot, no good by Teskey. Missed them both. It's 15-12 with 3.5 left to go in the first. 12 for 44 shooting from the field. 1 for 14 from three-point land by both of these teams. 10 turnovers combined. Not great numbers out there for both of these teams shooting from the field. Texas Tech with the ball, backing their way inside the low post. They pass it back outside at the top of the key. Brandon Francis with the ball. Almost got stolen, but the ball into the hands of Jarrett Culver. Culver passes it, and that is, wow, what a shot right there from the right corner. Perimeter goes down for Matt Mooney. 18-12. That was a very ugly possession right there, but Texas Tech made the most out of it and banked the shot home off the glass right there in that play. 6-point game. Michigan with the ball. They need buckets, and they put that one home. Slam, jam, right underneath. John Teskey flies high, jams that down. 18-14. Tech with the ball. They take the step back deep too. Oh, they hit that one right there. 2:15 left to go in this one. 20-14. Finally, a pull-up jumper can go down in this game. So we've seen signs of life on offense for both of these teams now. 6-point lead. Michigan with the ball. They are down by 6. Left wing of the three-point perimeter. Xavier Simpson. He passes off top of the key back to Simpson. He passes. Left corner three. Matthews. No good. Fight for the rebound. Texas Tech has it. Here we are. Red Raiders with the ball. They take it past the timeline. Texas Tech dribbling top of the key with Matt Mooney. He passes it left wing of that three-point perimeter. Now into the hands of Matt Mooney once again. Mooney dribbling left wing of that three-point perimeter, looking for somebody's open. Almost had the ball stripped from him, but a foul committed by Michigan on the reach-in. 20-14 is the score. We have a minute 36 left to go before halftime. Not a whole lot of offense in this one. Texas Tech will get the inbound here. Michigan commits their third foul of the half on a reach-in foul moments ago. Here we are back to action. Texas Tech with the ball. They have it at the top of the key. This is Jarrett Culver dribbling, trying to go inside now. Culver with a jumper. No good off the backboard. Rebounded by, let's see who is the last touch by. I believe Michigan touched and the ball went out of bounds. So we have a minute and 20 left to go before halftime. Yeah, the ball out of bounds by Michigan. Texas Tech will get it. Left wing three from the outside. No good. And it gets rebounded by Brazdeikis here in Michigan. Fewest points in any half this season was 18 back on November 10th against the College of the Holy Cross for the Michigan Wolverines. Michigan with the ball now. Eli Brooks, nice shot fake with the ball with 1:04 left to go in the first. A foul committed by Texas Tech, though, sending Michigan into the bonus. So Michigan will go to the free throw line here to shoot the 1-and-1. Kyler Edwards just committed the foul for Texas Tech. So here we are at the free throw line. John Teskey in the bonus here. 1-and-1. Knocks the first one down. 20-15. So John Teskey hits that shot home on the first shot. John Teskey on the season, let's see, is a 61% free throw shooter. Second shot, knocks that one down. $20-16 right now is the score. Texas Tech with the ball. They take it past the left side of the timeline. They dribble towards that top of the key with Moretti. Davide Moretti trying to go inside. Floats up the shot. Up and in. He banks it home off the backboard with 50.9 seconds left to go before halftime. Big shot right there by Davide. Timeout also called on the court by Texas Tech. Talking things over, so we'll see here. 50.9 seconds left when we do get back to action, as Texas Tech currently has the lead in this one. If you're new to my channel, hit that like button down below, subscribe, as well as this is Behind the Arc Basketball on YouTube. 22-16 currently. Texas Tech is up by 6. So when we do get back to action, we'll have 50.9 seconds remaining before halftime. Let's look at the leading scorers here. For Texas Tech, the leading scorer looks like this. Davide Moretti, 7 points right now, leading the way for the Red Raiders. Just got his second shot home off the basket. Hit a three-point shot, just hit a shot inside, and he also knocked down 2 free throw shots, the only 2 free throws so far at the field by Texas Tech. For Michigan, the leading scorers look like this. There are 4 players all tied with 4 points. All tied for first right now. Iggy Razdakis, John Teskey, Charles Matthews, and Jordan Poole all have 4 points currently for the Wolverines. That's what's going on in this game between these teams right now. The shooting percentages are not looking good at all, but they are coming up, so that is good. It's a good sign compared to Texas Tech's 18% shooting from the floor early on in this one. Michigan's 21% shooting from the floor, but yeah, the numbers have crept up, so that's good. 33% now for Texas Tech, 29% by Michigan. From the outside, Michigan's not hit a three-point shot so far. They're 0 for 9 from three-point range, so three-pointers have not worked out for the Wolverines so far in this game. Texas Tech is 2 for 8 with three-point shots, and that is the difference so far. Is the 6 points in this game up by Texas Tech. On the rebounding advantage here, Michigan out-rebounding Texas Tech 19-17 so far in this one. What else we got on in this game as I'm looking at it is, I think the free throws. Michigan's missed 2 free throws so far. Texas Tech's a perfect 2 for 2. So that's what's going on so far. As this is Behind the Arc Basketball on YouTube, I do play-by-play on March Madness games, so stay in the know here throughout the tournament on my channel Behind the Arc Basketball on YouTube. So here we are getting ready to go back to action momentarily. 22-16 the score. Michigan will get the ball here back on the inbound as they pass that one left wing of that three-point perimeter. Now they try to take that ball inside, and it gets stolen away. Texas Tech with a steal. Taking it past the timeline. 35 seconds left to go before halftime. The Red Raiders with the ball into the hands of Jarrett Culver. He passes it off now. Top of the key with Davide Moretti. Moretti with under 30 left to play here before the half. 25 seconds left. Dribbling right wing of the perimeter. He feeds the ball down low post inside the Culver. Banks it home by Jarrett. 24-16. Texas Tech's up. 12 seconds left to go before the half. Michigan with the ball. They take it past the timeline. Top of the key here. Wolverines. Dribbling. Simpson with 7 passes. Left wing Matthews with 7 and a timeout call by John Beeline. (24-16) the current score of this one. 7 seconds left to go before halftime in this game. If you haven't done so already, hit that like button down below. Subscribe as well as I call play-by-play of March Madness games throughout the rest of the tournament. So here we are. Both of these teams, Texas Tech getting a little hot on the floor right now, up by 8. Not a whole lot of answers so far in this first half by Michigan when it comes to three-point shooting at the moment. Shooting the ball 0 for 9 from the outside currently. Texas Tech playing defense. That's what they love to do best, and they've done it well so far here. Michigan with the ball off the inbound. Floating up a shot. No good, and rebounded by Texas Tech, and here we are at the half. 24-16. Wow, that is the lowest amount of points. That's a Michigan record for the lowest amount of points at halftime. So that's what they just said right there. 24-16. Not much happening in that first half. held Michigan the fewest first half points in NC tournament school history. So those 16 points scored by Michigan are the fewest points scored before halftime in NCAA tournament history right there. So that is crazy. That's an all-time Michigan record as well as fewest points at the half, and that is an NCAA tournament record added in there also. 24-16. We are at halftime. Ugly shooting from the floor in that first half, but yeah, there were a couple shots that went down for Michigan that were pretty looks, but other than that, Texas Tech getting shots to fall, and Michigan has fallen behind the 8 ball in this one. 24-16 as we'll look at the team stats here in the first half. So here we are inside the first half. Texas Tech shooting the ball 36% from the field. Michigan at 28%. That will not get things done. Both of those team stats were really low earlier in the game, as Texas Tech was shooting the ball, I think, at around 18% from the field in the early stages of this one, and Michigan was shooting the ball around 21% from the field. But right now, yes, yeah, Kyle, such a weird game in this one. I think that's those 16 points that Michigan scored at the half. That is a NCAA tournament record for the fewest points scored at the half by Michigan. But yeah, thanks so much, man, for joining me here in the chat. If you're new to the channel, make sure to hit that like button down below. Subscribe as well, as I do play-by-play on March Madness games. I'll be back tomorrow for 2 games tomorrow night. LSU against Michigan State. That should be a good one to start it off. Duke against Virginia Tech right after that one. But yes, such a weird game here. 16 points by Michigan. That is also all-time Michigan school low, as I think the last one they scored was 18 points against the College of the Holy Cross. But here we are, 16 points at halftime with 2 top 5 defenses in all of college basketball. We knew that this game would be defense. We didn't know that it would be this much defense and the shots wouldn't fall. So Michigan is the 2 seed. They also rank 2nd in the nation in fewest points allowed, only allowing opponents this season to an average of 58 points this season. Texas Tech is the 3 seed. They rank 3rd in college basketball in fewest points allowed, averaging only allowing opponents to average 59.2 points per game. So interesting here. 2 defensive teams. When you think about Texas Tech, the first word that probably pops up into your mind is offense, not defense. You probably think about the football team. You think that they're an offensive team and play with no defense, which basically they've been for over a decade or so. But this is basketball, a complete 360 from the football team. And right here, it's the Texas Tech defense that's held Michigan to 16 points at the half. The shooting has been pretty bad here in the first half. They've got things going late in this one, though. Feels like we've been on a scoring spree towards the end of that half. Texas Tech shooting the ball 36% from the field. Michigan at 28% from the field. 0 for 9 from three-point range by Michigan. They need to do a better job shooting the ball from behind the arc with open looks and open shots to get things done later in this game. 19-18 rebounding advantage going to Michigan on a +1 on the boards right now by 1 rebound. Also, the turnovers that's plaguing Michigan. They have 7 turnovers currently in this one, as the Michigan Wolverines averaged only 11 turnovers in the first 2 games of the tournament. So that was it. But yeah, I call play-by-play on March Madness games throughout the season, all the way to the national championship game. Right after that, doing some more play-by-play with the NBA, jumping into the NBA right after March Madness is done. But if you like my channel, make sure to hit that like button down below, subscribe as well. But yeah, very weird game, as Kyle pointed, as what's going on so far. Going to update you guys as what's going on in the other game. Number 12 seeded Oregon playing against number 1 seeded Virginia. It's currently 10-7. Virginia is up with 10 minutes left to go before halftime there. As Kyle's a Michigan State fan, as yeah, he's glad to see Michigan is down. I got a friend that goes to Michigan State. I'm actually from Massachusetts, but yeah, I have a friend that attends MSU right now. I think he's a sophomore at MSU, but I'll be streaming that game tomorrow night. Michigan State against LSU. That should be a good good game. It'll be a pretty good battle. Cassius Winston going up against Tremont Waters. That should be a really interesting game with both of those teams. I think Michigan State, I think, will pull that out, though, because they're much better defensively than LSU. LSU gives up like a ton of points. They do have size, though, so it's going to be interesting. Nick Ward and also Kenny Goins matching up with Naz Reid and Cavell Bigby Williams for LSU in that game, because there's two pretty big, tall players from Michigan State and also two big men out there, 6'10", 6'11" for LSU, so it should be a good game. I think it's going to come down to the three-point shooters. Whoever drops more points from behind the arc, who will it be? Matt McQuaid of Michigan State, or will it be Skylar Mays of LSU? That's basically what that game will come down to. I also not feeling confident about LSU when they almost blew two large leads against Yale and also Maryland. They almost lost to Maryland in the last game. So gonna have to take Michigan State in that game, setting up for a Michigan State against Duke battle in the Elite Eight I'm most projecting. Yeah, hopefully Kenny Goins can find his shot in that game. But yeah, glad to see that Nick Ward's back after that hand injury around like a month ago in that game against Ohio State. So that's good. They get one of their top shooters of the team back, top 5 in the conference for shooting is Nick Ward. Also Cassius Winston up against Tremont Waters. It's going to be a crazy game, but I think Cassius will have the edge there. Cassius will probably drop down like 26, 27 points. He'll probably have like 7 or 8 assists to go along with that, most likely. That's usually his stat line. But yeah, a lot of interesting games tomorrow. North Carolina, they look like one of the best teams in the field right now based on how they've played. But they got a real test going for them in their next game tomorrow against Auburn. That's going to be a tough game. Duke had a tough matchup against Taco Fall and UCF in the round of 32 with a 7'6" monster guarding the Duke players in the court. But here we are. Auburn is like I think they're like a top 8 team in steals in the nation. Auburn is. Also, LSU is inside the top 12 for steals in the nation, but Auburn is better than LSU when it comes to stealing the ball. But Auburn does the same thing as North Carolina. They push the tempo up the court, so that should be an interesting matchup later tomorrow. I think for the Duke against Virginia Tech game, I'm taking Duke in that one. Just too big of size for Duke in that game. They also get Zion back. I know Virginia Tech beat Duke about a month ago, but Zion wasn't in the lineup. Also, Justin Robinson, the all-time leading assist man for the Virginia Tech Hokies, wasn't in the lineup. He's back from injury, though, playing in the tournament. So I think Duke will get that done. They have the size to definitely get it done. Even though Duke sits back, like I think they're almost dead last in three-point shooting percentage in all of college basketball. They're like 340 out of 353 teams. But you got the little guys from Virginia Tech. Like you have 4 players on that roster for Virginia Tech in the starting 5 that's 6'6" or below. The only player on that roster that is taller than 6'6" is Kerry Blackshear Jr., which is basically the center of the team, the leading rebounder. But other than that, you have four guards for Virginia Tech going up against basically 4 forwards for Duke. That's like 6'8", 6'9", 6'7", big size difference. I'll take Duke all day in that game with that matchup. The curious one's going to be Houston against Kentucky, closing it out tomorrow night. If P.J. Washington plays or if he doesn't. And that one, Houston can do so many things well as well. They shoot the ball well from the floor. They also defend well. Basically every single possession you have against Houston is a challenge, which that's been the equivalent to Michigan today. It's been a challenge for the Wolverines at this point. But yeah, pretty good games tomorrow on the map. Also, I'm interested to see what happens in the second half here between both of these teams. Texas Tech against Michigan. This is looking like the final score is going to head down one of those paths like Virginia Tech against North Carolina State earlier this season, like the 47-24 battle. It's not going to be that low, but it'll be something like that. I think it'll be like high 40s or something, or low 50s in this game. But that's what I think about it. But yeah, we're at halftime currently. One of the things to note here for Texas Tech, they've done a great job on the defensive end. They've also held 8 of their opponents this season to 50 points or less for the Red Raiders. So that's what they do so well throughout the season for Texas Tech. So yeah, that is the first half. Gonna update you guys with the score here. Oregon against Virginia. Oregon as a 12 seed is up 13-10 with 7:10 left to go against Virginia in that game. So the Oregon Ducks leading the way is a scorer who's off the bench. Ehab Amin has 8 points right now for Oregon. And 2 points by Peyton Pritchard adding in 3 points by Louis King. That's what Oregon's doing so far in that game. So they have the lead right now against Virginia, 13-10 with 7:14 left to go in the first. Another one of those games that is low scoring, so defense contributing to that factor. Virginia, of course, is the #1 defensive team in the nation when it comes to fewest points allowed per game. As we look to Virginia, let's see their leading scorer. DeAndre Hunter has 5 points, 3 points by Ty Jerome, 2 points by Kyle Guy. So that's how the scoring's been distributed here. Oregon against Virginia in the other game going on with around 7 minutes left to go before halftime. 13-10 Oregon up in the lead. The winner of this game, Texas Tech against Michigan, will take on Gonzaga next in the Elite Eight. So basically, you go from 2 high-profile defensive teams, that's teams with all defense, going out on the court playing against the top offense, the #1 scoring team in all of college basketball, the Gonzaga Bulldogs. Should be an interesting matchup, whoever gets Gonzaga. Should be a really, really interesting matchup. But here we are, almost ready to get back to the half. When we do, we'll have a 8-point lead by Texas Tech, 24-16. That's all. But yeah, curious to see how this score goes down in the second half. If you're new to my channel, hit that like button down below. Subscribe as well as I call play-by-play on March Madness games throughout the tournament. Of course, Purdue went into overtime today against Tennessee, but the Boilermakers won 99-94. So right now, Purdue moving on to the Elite Eight as they'll take on the winner of Oregon against Virginia. Purdue looking red hot right now. But yeah, like 20 hours from now, countdown the tip-off between Auburn and North Carolina. That should be a really good game between both of those teams. I think that's going to be North Carolina's challenge right there is Auburn, Bruce Pearl's squad. They can run the distance of the court. They can also steal the ball, which has been a weakness of North Carolina, has been the turnovers. They had quite a bit of turnovers in their last game against Washington, but they did get things done. So yeah, it'll be interesting. The battle between Jared Harper and Kobe White tomorrow night in action. Auburn going up against North Carolina. Both of those teams pretty even in all 3 phases of the game here. Points scored per game, shooting percentage from the floor, and 3-point shooting percentage. Both of those teams have been doing well this season and throughout the tournament, maintaining that as well. So my streaming schedule tomorrow looks like this. LSU against Michigan State. That's the first game at 7:10 tomorrow. And then after the conclusion of that one, Duke against Virginia Tech around 9:40 tomorrow night. Should be a good game for both of those. Duke against Virginia Tech, of course, the revenge game for the Blue Devils, as they did not have Zion the last time they played Virginia Tech and lost at Blacksburg there. Updating you guys with the score of this one. Oregon beating Virginia 16-10 with 6:10 left to go in the first. So Oregon up now, but the 3-point shot was just made by Kihei Clark of Virginia, cutting the Oregon Duck lead to 3 with 6 minutes even left to go in the first. So that's what's going on in that game. If you haven't done so already, hit that like button down below. Subscribe as well to my channel as I call play-by-play on March Madness games, as this is Behind the Arc Basketball on YouTube. So yeah, we're going to get back to action momentarily with both of these teams. Hopefully soon. When we do, it'll be a really low-scoring game where we last picked off 24-16. The Texas Tech is their first Elite Eight appearance was last season, and yeah, they look pretty good in this game so far with their defensive skills on the defensive end, trying to go for back-to-back Elite Eight appearances right now for the Red Raiders. But yeah, they currently hold that 8-point lead at halftime. Just updating you guys with the score. Oregon against Virginia, 4.5 left to go before halftime. Oregon with a 3-point lead against Virginia, 18-15 right now. And that one, we'll look to the box score, see what's going on with both of these teams. And it looks like this. Leading the way still, Ihab Amin, 8 points right now for the Oregon Ducks. 5 points by Peyton Pritchard, along with 3 assists and 3 rebounds by Peyton. For Virginia, the leading scorer looks like this. 5 points, DeAndre Hunter leading the way for the Cavaliers. 4 points by Kyle Guy. So that's what's going on. Hopefully a better second half between both of these teams. Hopefully more shots falling through into the net. 24-16 right now as we head out to the second half between Texas Tech and Michigan. The 3 versus the 2. Also, the number 3 best defensive team when it comes to points allowed in college basketball against the number 2 defensive team in points allowed in college basketball. That is the fewest points allowed with both of these squads. We knew it was going to be a high defensive game in this one, but we didn't think it would be this much defense. So yeah, interested to see what happens in the second half between both of these squads. So we're on a commercial break, and then we'll be getting ready to go back to action when we do. As this is Behind the Arc Basketball on YouTube, I do play-by-play of March Madness games throughout the tournament, so stay in the know here with my channel. 6 assists by Texas Tech in that first half, 4 assists by Michigan. As we look at some of these stats, 7 turnovers by Michigan is what's made them go down in this game. 4 turnovers committed so far in that first half by Texas Tech. We got a brand new second half, though, of college basketball. Hopefully getting underway in a matter of minutes. So that's what we'll be dealing with when we do get back to action momentarily. Of course, Purdue, the big winner today. 29 points by Carson Edwards. 27 points by Ryan Klein. Had a career day by Ryan Klein as the Boilermakers have moved on to the Elite Eight in 99-94. Purdue has won that game. Gonzaga beat Florida State as well, 72-58. And that one, so the Zags move on to take on the winner of this one, Michigan against Texas Tech. Oregon was up against Virginia a few minutes ago. Now Virginia has taken back the lead, 23-18. Virginia's up with 2:37 left to go in that game. So, yeah, Virginia looking pretty good right now. Texas Tech up against Michigan, 24-16. So here we are. We're almost ready to get back to action here. This is Behind the Arc Basketball on YouTube. I do play-by-play of college basketball games, so stay in the know here with my channel. This is Behind the Arc Basketball on YouTube. Texas Tech representing the Big 12 as their defense has really improved today, allowing only 16 points at the half to the Michigan Wolverines. A lot of defensive rotation by Texas Tech, which is allowed to 7 turnovers by Michigan and a bunch of missed shots from the field. 28% shooting in that first half by Michigan, 36% by Texas Tech in that first half. 2 for 8 from the outside, shooting the ball from three-point range in the first half by Texas Tech. Michigan was a 0 for 9. In order for Michigan to come back into this game, they cannot turn over the ball. But here we are, guys, getting ready to go back to the second half. 8-point game, Michigan with an inbound. They pass the top of the key to Teskey. He passes it left wing perimeter here. With the ball, Xavier Simpson, and a foul called to start it off with 19:49 left to go. Texas Tech already commits their first foul of the half. So Michigan here will go to the free throw line with John Teskey. 24-16, 19:49 left to go. First shot, no good at the free throw line by John Teskey. Hit it off the top of the iron. This season, John Teskey is a 61% free throw shooter on the season. He just missed his first one. Here he is at the second shot at the charity stripe, and no good as well. Still to an 8-point game. So the shots cannot fall for Michigan today. Shooting the ball right now at the free throw line, Michigan is shooting 2 for 6. Texas Tech now has it at the left wing of the three-point perimeter. This is Matt Mooney trying to make his move. Jumper in the key, knocks it down. Largest lead of the game here by the Red Raiders, 26-16. 19:20 left to go. Top of the key three from outside, and that's an air ball by Michigan. Ball goes out of bounds. Texas Tech will get it back. It looked like it was on the mark, but yeah, had enough strength right to it. It was just to the left of the hoop, and it got an air ball out of bounds. Charles Matthews just floated that one up, and it was an air ball. 0 for 10 from behind the arc by Michigan. Texas Tech now with the ball at the free throw circle inside the key now. Step back, jumper, hits the rim short, rebounded here by Iggy Brazdakis. Michigan with the ball, left wing of the three-point perimeter. They pass it off, top of the key here. Michigan working, spin move inside, the ball tipped up in the air, stolen away. Davide Moretti with a steal. Texas Tech takes the ball, they take it past the timeline. They have it top of the key with Moretti. Moretti passes left wing perimeter here to Tariq Owens. Owens puts that ball into the hands of Matt Mooney. Mooney here, top of the key, passes the ball right wing perimeter for Texas Tech. Texas Tech trying to go inside. Underneath the basket, they dribble back out. Now the ball into the hands of Mooney, kicks it back outside. Moretti knocks it down. The number 1 3-point shooter in the Big 12 Conference at 48% shooting from outside. These Texas Tech Red Raiders are red hot to start off this second half. 29-16 right now. In courtesy of Davide Moretti from the outside, lighting up the three ball with a J. 18-11 left to go remaining. Iggy Brazdakis at the free throw line from Michigan. Iggy is a 77% free throw shooter. Knocks down the first one. Finally, somebody can hit a shot here at the free throw line, so that was good. 29-17 right now. Twenty-nine to 17. We got players checking back into the game for Texas Tech. Number 3, Deshaun Corprew comes back into the game here for the Red Raiders. Checking out of the game, he picked up his second foul as Norrentz Odiase. Second shot here at the free throw line by Brazdakis. And he knocks that one down as well. 29-18. 18-11 left to go. Texas Tech with the ball. They take it past that left side of the timeline. They have it at the top of the key here. Matt Mooney dribbling with the ball, passes that one, and now they float up the shot, and no good. What a denial from behind right there by Michigan to make sure the alley-oop wasn't sent home, but Texas Tech will get the ball here back on the inbound momentarily. Yeah, nice deflection right there to make that ball go out of bounds by Michigan. I believe that was number 1, Charles Matthews, with a deflection. Here we are getting ready to go back to action. Davide Moretti with an inbound pass. Let's see who he throws it to. He does. He throws it to the left side baseline here for Texas Tech. Trying to back their way. Spin move. Low post out. Ugly shot as that hit the bottom part of the backboard in a rebounding. Michigan with a rebound and a rebounding foul committed by Texas Tech. 29-18. Jarrett Culver checking out of the game. Only 8 points tonight for the Red Raiders. Here we are back to action. Michigan with the ball left wing. Now they're trying to dribble left side baseline, looking for a man who's open. Passes it back, and it's a turnover as they pass that one right corner to the three-point perimeter, and it forced the Michigan player to go out of bounds and step on the baseline. Another turnover by John Beeline's squad. 9 tonight. They averaged only 11 throughout this tournament so far. Texas Tech with the ball. They take it past the timeline. Right wing in the three-point perimeter. Davide Moretti, and he feeds the ball down low. What a slam. Tariq Owens puts it home. 31-18. What an alley-oop pass right there. Michigan in trouble. Michigan trying to go low post. The ball stolen. Texas Tech with numbers. 3-ball Moretti. Oh, drains it. 17 minutes left to go. Texas Tech is on fire. 34-18. Davide Moretti lighting it up from the three-point line. First of all, he had the alley-oop pass with a slam jam by Tariq Owens. And then himself from the outside. And what a game the Italian has had. 16:56 left to go when we do get back to action. In this one with Texas Tech in full control. 34-18 up against Michigan. This is Behind the Arc Basketball on YouTube. Make sure to hit that like button down below. Subscribe as well to my channel. Updating you guys with the score of the other game going on. Virginia's up 28-22 against Oregon with under a minute left to play before halftime. But here we are in this one. Oh, man. Davide Moretti, 13 points tonight for the Texas Tech Red Raiders. Davide Moretti ranks 2nd in the nation in college basketball in free throw shooting percentage behind Tyler Hero from Kentucky. Moretti ranks 11th in college basketball in three-point shooting percentage, 1st in the Big 12 Conference. Shoots the ball at 48% from the field. Davide Moretti already has 13. He's a perfect 3 for 3 right now from behind the arc. Also a perfect 2 for 2 from the free throw line. Those are the only 2 free throws for Texas Tech so far. 13 points leading the way by Davide Moretti. For Michigan, the leading scorer only has 6 points. 6 points by Iggy Brazdakis. And then 4 points chipping in John Teskey, Charles Matthews, and Jordan Poole. Not the game today for the Michigan Wolverines. Playing a later matchup against Texas Tech. The shots cannot fall for Michigan. They are struggling. Only 2 points in the second half. Texas Tech already starting off the second half. Texas Tech has scored 10 points, outscoring Michigan in the second half 10-2 for the Red Raiders. Looking at these shooting percentages is what's been telling the tale. Texas Tech now 40% shooting from the floor, Michigan 27% from the floor. For the three-pointers, Michigan has been struggling, 0 for 10 from the outside. Texas Tech 4 for 10 from three-point range from the outside. And as well, Michigan struggling all around as Texas Tech's outscored Michigan on a 10-2 run to start off the second half. If you haven't done so already, hit that like button down below. Subscribe as well as I call play-by-play of March Madness games throughout the tournament. I'll be back tomorrow. LSU against Michigan State and also Duke against Virginia Tech. What a game here by Davide Moretti at Texas Tech. 13 points by Davide, a perfect 3 for 3 from behind the arc. Here we are getting ready to go back after this commercial break. We also have Oregon against Virginia in action right now in Sweet 16 mode as Virginia's up 30-22 at the half. Here we are back to action. Michigan really needs to hit some shots, and three-pointers will be key. They have the ball. Inside the key, Xavier Simpson floats it up. No good off the backboard. Rebounded by Texas Tech. 16:40 left to go. The Red Raiders pass the timeline here with Matt Mooney. Left wing of that three-point perimeter. Mooney, top of the key, passes. Right wing here, Davide Moretti, who had an assist 2 plays ago, and the last play was a three-point shot off a steal. They feed it down inside, low post underneath the basket. They are stripped of the ball, though. Michigan has it back. Michigan with the ball into the hands of Jordan Poole at the top of the key. Poole passes that one off right wing in that three-point perimeter. They feed it underneath the basket. Iggy Brazdeikis loses control of it, and Texas Tech gets it back with 16 left to go. Right wing of the three-point perimeter here for the Red Raiders. They pass it inside. Oh, what an abusive jam. 36-15. Tariq Owens slams it down with authority. 16-2 run in the last 5 minutes. This is insane. Tariq Owens flying high to the board, slamming it down. This whole game, Texas Tech, it belongs to right now 36-18 with 15:56 left to go. Right now, this is just insane. What Texas Tech has been able to do. Force consistent turnovers by Michigan in this game. Texas Tech currently out-rebounding Michigan at this point as well. They were down in the rebounding category now. Texas Tech is a +1 on the boards. 10 assists by Texas Tech. 4 assists by Michigan. 6 steals today by the Red Raiders. They've forced 10 Michigan turnovers throughout this game, and that's why they are doubling the Michigan point total. 36-18 with 15:56 left to go when we do get back to action. This is Behind the Arc Basketball on YouTube. Make sure to hit that like button down below. Subscribe as well as I call play-by-play of March Madness games throughout the tournament. Nothing going right so far for John Beilein's squad. Nothing at all. But for Texas Tech, they can smell Elite Eight. They can smell Gonzaga is on the way. 13 points leading the game. Davide Moretti. 8 points by Jared Culver, second on the team in scoring. 7 points by Matt Mooney. 4 points by Tariq Owens. And then 2 points. And there also is Deshaun Corprew and Brandon Francis with 2 points adding in as well. 6 rebounds by Tariq Owens, 4 points. So he's the leading rebounder with 6 rebounds. But look at these steals. 1 steal by Owens, 2 steals by Mooney, 2 steals by Culver, and 1 steal by Moretti. 36-18. The score. Texas Tech is just on a roll. They are on a complete tear in this game. Shooting the ball at 42% from the field. Michigan at 25%. Michigan has yet to hit a three-point shot. This is going to be too little too late. The leading scorer only has 6 points for the Wolverines. That is Iggy Brazdeikis. Shooting 2 for 8 from the field. The last shot that I believe he took was an air ball underneath the hoop as well. John Beilein cannot be happy with his squad tonight. Not at all. Got an update here. Virginia went on an 18-4 run to end the first half to And they're leading at halftime 30-22 against Oregon. So that game's at the half. Virginia up by 8. The winner of that game will take on Purdue on Saturday. So Virginia or Oregon will take on Purdue. And then also the winner of this game as well will take on Gonzaga on Saturday. Here we are, back to action. No shots made by Michigan in the last 7 minutes. They have it top of the key. Xavier Simpson passes right wing. Iggy Brazdeikis back to Simpson. Passes right wing once again. Jordan Poole trying to spin move inside. Poole. And finally a shot goes down for Jordan Poole, 36-20. Finally a shot goes down for Michigan as well. 36-20, 15-15 left to go. Texas Tech with the ball. Michigan needs to play some serious defense. Top of the key here. More ready. Stolen away by John Teske. But let's see what the foul is called. I think it was a reach-in call committed by Teske. So he did have the steal for a minute. It's just a big man working on a little man right there. Yep, John Teske gets called with the foul as he came across the arm of Davide Moretti. So no steal on that one. Texas Tech gets the inbound. 15:05 left to go in this game. Texas Tech with the ball. They have it at the top of the key here with Jarrett Culver dribbling out. Culver passes left wing perimeter. Matt Mooney trying to go left baseline inside. Kicks it back outside. Left wing three open. Tarico and Zaire balls it though. Rebounded by Michigan. 14:50 left to go. Michigan pushing tempo. Iggy Brazdeikis. Right wing. He passes top of the key here. Back to Iggy. Iggy now trying to move inside. Passes Teske. Now to the top of the key. Simpson. Fake out move. Teske open three. John Teske, no good. 14:35 left to go. Texas Tech with a rebound. They have a 16-point lead, 36-20. You have to be able to make threes in order to move on to the Elite Eight. Three ball by Texas Tech, no good from the right corner. Rebounded by Michigan. 14:20 left to go. Michigan with the ball. They have it. They pass it to the right corner here with Isaiah Livers, the best three-point shooter on the team. Passes to Brazdeikis. Brazdeikis inside. Feeds it to Teske. No good. He missed the slam dunk. Brazdeikis, though, with an offensive rebound. Put back up and in by Iggy. 36-22. So cutting this Texas Tech lead a little bit here for the Wolverines. Remember that game last week? That was a crazy finish. Iowa against Tennessee. 14-point game going on. Texas Tech top of the key. Owens passes right wing now. Jumper Moretti knocks it down for the baseline right there by Davide Moretti. Leading scorer, 15 points in the night. 38 Texas Tech, 22 Michigan. Make sure to hit that like button down below. Subscribe as well. If you're new to my channel, I call play-by-play of March Madness games. 38-22. Left corner three. No good. Rattled out by Isaiah Livers. Rebounded here by Texas Tech. They take it past the left side of the timeline. Texas Tech with the ball. They have it right wing of that three-point perimeter. Matt Mooney. Mooney now. Dribbling. He passes it off. Right wing Corprew. Corprew passes back to the top of the key to Jarrett Culver, and a reach and foul committed by Michigan. (38-22) right now. We got 13:03 left to go in this game. Texas Tech will get the inbound here if the reach and foul committed by Michigan. 2 fouls in the second half committed by the Wolverines. 3 committed by Texas Tech. We're under 13 left to play here. Texas Tech with the ball off the inbound. They have it right wing in the perimeter to Moretti. Moretti backs out of it. Moretti now dribbles towards that top of the key. 5 on the shot clock. Moretti trying to take it inside. Foul called on the play with 12:49 left to go. If you're new to the channel, make sure to hit that like button down below. Subscribe as well to Behind the Arc Basketball on YouTube. I call play-by-play on March Madness games. I'll be back tomorrow. Michigan State against LSU and Duke against Virginia Tech. The score, Texas Tech is up 38-22 against Michigan with 12:49 left to go. Huge game on the Davide Moretti of the Red Raiders. 15 points today by Davide. Jarrett Culver with 8 points. Michigan has struggled shooting the ball constantly throughout this game from the floor. 12:49 left to go. Texas Tech will get the inbound pass underneath the basket. They pass the ball off to the top of the key. They pass it now in the key to Matt Mooney. Mooney, spin move, inside the lane, feeds his own teammate, Owens. Underneath the basket, he passes it back out on top. Deep three from the outside. Oh, and he drains it right there by Texas Tech. 41-22. Total massacre today in this game. Texas Tech looking brilliant in the second half. Michigan just could not come out and play today. 12:15 left to go. Michigan with the ball. They need to hit some open jumpers. Jumper in the key. Foul called on the play with 12:15 or 12:18 left to go. So I'm going to update you guys here with a score. Almost doubling the point total right now, basically, is what Texas Tech is doing. Crazy game of the Red Raiders have come out in the second half, and they've been on fire. Charles Matthews at the free throw line here from Michigan. We have 12:18 left to go. Matthews on the season is a 64% free throw shooter for the Wolverines. First shot at the free throw line, knocks that one down. 41-23 is the score. Michigan with a lot of work to be done if they want to get to the Elite Eight. Tons of work in this game, meaning defense and meaning also hitting three-point shot after three-point shot, something they've not been able to do today. They are 0 for 12 shooting from three-point range. Second shot at the free throw line, knocks that one down. That's a good start right there, hitting 3 free throws. 41-24, Texas Tech with the inbound. They put it into the hands of Brandon Francis. Francis passes the ball, and they take it past that top of the key here. So Matt Mooney at the left side of the three-point perimeter dribbles towards that top of the key for Texas Tech. Mooney thought about taking the three ball from the top of the key, fed the ball to his teammate, though. Lob pass inside, underneath the basket, but there's another reach and foul committed by Michigan on the play, right underneath the hoop. Kyler Edwards had the ball underneath the hoop for Texas Tech. He also hit the last three-point shot for the Red Raiders. Currently a commercial break. 41-24 is the score. Total beatdown right now on this one. If you're new to my channel, hit that like button down below. Subscribe as well, as I do play-by-play of March Madness games throughout the season. So we got 41-24 is the score. Total beatdown in today's game. Didn't expect this at all. 0% from three-point shooting by Michigan. They are shooting the ball 27% from the floor. Texas Tech is 43%. Texas Tech shot the ball at 53% in their win against Northern Kentucky in the first round game. Jarrett Culver with 29 points and 7 assists, but right now struggling at the moment, 41-24. Still at halftime between Virginia and Oregon, scores 30-22 in that game. So yeah, things just not going Michigan's way at all in this game. Shooting the ball, 0 for 12 from behind the arc. Texas Tech's 5 for 13 right now. 60% as well from free throw shooting percentage. They are 6 out of 10. A lot of things could be going Michigan's way, but they are not. 10 turnovers so far today by the Wolverines. That also hasn't helped at all. Right now, we are currently on a TV timeout between Michigan and Texas Tech. We'll be getting back to the game momentarily between both of these squads. The winner of this one will take on Gonzaga in the Elite Eight. That will take place on Saturday. Ooh.
Bring color to life with the very best paint, only at your Sherwin-Williams store.
So yeah, watching these highlights right now in Michigan, and Yeah, there's been a ton of bricks today shooting the ball from the outside for the Wolverines. At this point, stuff has been rattling out of the hoop constantly from Michigan. Cannot hit a three-point shot in this game. Shooting the ball from behind the arc. They are 0 for 12 tonight. One of the things to note is Texas Tech is second in the nation in opponent shooting defense, holding opponents to only 37% from the field. As Houston still in the tournament, they'll play tomorrow against Kentucky as the #1 seed in fewest opponent shooting percentage. Reverse-handed layup by Texas Tech goes up and in off the backboard. Jared Culver gets that one home. He's at double-digit points, 43-24. 11:34 left to go. Michigan making their move inside, and they hit the bucket home, and they're fouled as well. So need a little spark. Might have just happened right there. 43-26. Still down by a bunch of points. But don't count them out, especially with Iowa against Tennessee last week. Iggy Brazdeikis going to the free throw line here for one. On the season, Iggy Brazdeikis is a 77% free throw shooter. So a lot of ground to make up for Michigan. 43-26. And knocks that one down. Make it 27. Texas Tech with the inbound. They do. They get it past that timeline there with a burst of speed by Matt Mooney. Mooney now passes left wing, the now left corner of the perimeter. Trying to dribble baseline. They pass it back. Right wing of that perimeter. Moving it around. Left wing three from the outside. No good. Rattled out. But the offensive rebound, though, by Texas Tech. They retain possession. Trying to go inside. Laying it up and in right there. Into the bucket and one by Jared Culver. Total domination today in the second half by Texas Tech. They are up 45-27. If you haven't done so already, make sure to hit that like button down below, subscribe, as well as I call play-by-play the March Madness games throughout the Sweet 16 into the Elite 8 in the Final Four, and of course the National Championship game on Monday, April 8th. So here we are at the free throw line with Jared Culver. Knocks that one down. Huge lead by Texas Tech. 46-27. Michigan did not show up to play today. Michigan now left wing of the three-point perimeter. They pass it off top of the key with Xavier Simpson. Trying to go inside. He passes it back outside to Iggy Brazdeikis. You need to hit some shots here, Michigan, and you need to do it in a hurry. They are down by almost 20. Right wing perimeter, Isaiah Livers with 4 in the shot clock. Livers passes top of the key. Nothing there. And a foul called on the reach-in with 2 seconds on the shot clock. 10:45 left to go in the game clock. Jared Culver is the first ever Texas Tech player to win Big 12 Player of the Year. Those numbers have been crazy, averaging 22.5 points per game, 9 rebounds per game, and 6 assists per game in this entire NCAA tournament so far. 10:45 left to go. Michigan will get the inbound. They are getting demolished. They are down by 19. They take the ball past the timeline. Too little, too late here. Lots of dribbling by Michigan. Not enough shot taking. Left corner three from the outside. No good. Another missed three-point shot right there by the Wolverines. Shooting 0 for 13 from behind the three-point range. Michigan missed the shot. Texas Tech with a rebound. Texas Tech trying to take it inside. Laying it up and in. Beating him to the rack. And it goes up and in by Jared Culver. 48-27. Total blowout fashion today. Nobody expected this from the runner-up from last year's tournament to get blown out like this. We're going to reach that halfway point in a second and a minute. Finally, a shot falls, and it's a deep 2, so not a three-point shot, but it's a start. And we have 10:01 left to go. So 48-29, it's a start off that last shot right there by Michigan. So finally, they hit that one home, left elbow deep 2. They knocked that down. But yeah, the shooting percentage tells the tale itself. Texas Tech shooting the ball at 46% from the floor. Michigan shooting the ball at 31% from the floor in this game. It's a total difference between shooting percentage in this one. The three-point shooting percentage has told the tale throughout. 36% from three-point range, Texas Tech. They're 5 for 14 on the day from three-point range. Michigan, they are 0 for 13. Have not converted on a single three-point shot, still at 0. Here we are back to action. Texas Tech with an inbound. We're under the halfway mark here in the second half. What a blowout. Texas Tech's made 5 out of the last 6 shots from the field. They have it. Top of the key here. Jarrett Culver. Culver dribbling with the ball with 9:45 left to go. Passes out right wing perimeter. Back to the top of the key here with Culver. Culver trying to go to the hoop. Blocked from behind by Isaiah Livers as Culver takes a huge fall down on the hardwood, but he gets up. But Culver was fouled as well, and the play will go to the free throw line. Isaiah Livers right there with a huge block from behind. Jarrett Culver driving to the basket. Will go to the free throw line. He's a 70% shooter at the charity stripe this season, trying to put 50 points on the board if he can get it there. 48-29 is the score. We have 9:41 left to go. He hits the first one. (49-29). Let's see if he can put the 50 spot on the board here. Jarrett Culver knocks him down. Both of them. The free throw line. Huge 21-point lead here for Texas Tech. 50-29. Michigan. Looks like they will not move on to the Elite Eight just like last year. They have the ball top of the key with Xavier Simpson. He passes it off to Iggy Brazdakis, and he just airballs it. The ball gets tipped out of bounds. Texas Tech ball. Total embarrassment here on the court tonight by the Michigan Wolverines. Nothing going on for the yellow and blue squad. Texas Tech with the inbound. Already 11 turnovers tonight. That's the tournament average that Michigan has had. They have 11 turnovers tonight. They were averaging in those first 2 games 11 turnovers per game. 50-29, 9:10 left to go. Texas Tech with the ball. Trying to go in the key. They float up the shot, and everything's going their way. A rattles inside. 9 minutes even left to go. 52-29. Have you seen a score like this before? Texas Tech moving on to the Elite Eight, already calling it. Michigan with the ball in the lane, and they get stripped of it. Xavier Simpson lost it, stolen away by Texas Tech. Top of the key here, spin move. Trying to go inside, they feed their teammate, and a foul call, and then Texas Tech will go to the free throw line. Shoot some shots here. This is a terrible display all over the court here by Michigan. 52-29, 8:42 left to go. Tariq Owens at the free throw line here for Texas Tech. He's a 79% free throw shooter. Knocks down the first one. Everything going the Red Raiders' way tonight. 53-29. Total shocking demolition, destruction. Second shot, no good. 53-29. 8.5 left to go. 29 points on the board. Make it 31 finally. With a slam down by Iggy Brazdakis underneath the basket. But yeah, Texas Tech's defense will not quit. 53-31. 8:20 left to go. Texas Tech just chewing out time off the clock. Back to action with Virginia versus Oregon. Virginia is up 30-27 against Oregon. Left wing three, it's open, and he connects. Matt Mooney from the outside. It's the left wing three by Texas Tech. 56-31 right now. Michigan really just needs to shoot the ball. They have it top of the key. Now they're trying to dribble inside for a 2. No good. Way off the top of the backboard with a foul called on the play. Yep, looks like Texas Tech's going to the Elite Eight. 7:45 left to go, and this is just total domination in this entire second half, with Texas Tech outscoring Michigan 32-15 in the second half. 56-31 is the score. 31 points on the board for Michigan. Texas Tech has allowed 8 of their opponents this season to score 50 points or below on the season. But here we are with Michigan. They've been held to 31 points. Some of these teams got held to even below 40 points in the season. Southeast Louisiana lost to Texas Tech 59-40. There was another team here. I think that's Incarnate Word that they played. They beat them in the first game of the season 87-37 this year in the first game for Texas Tech this season. Let's see who else they played that they played amazing defense against and didn't give up many points. And there's a couple teams in there. Northwestern State, they beat 79-44 for Texas Tech. They also beat Arkansas Pine Bluff 65-47. In the past 2 games, they've given up on the defensive end. They allowed 57 points in the first round game against Northern Kentucky, 58 points against Buffalo. Today, it looks like fewer than that, 58 by a long shot. 31 points by Michigan with 7:45 left remaining. So Michigan is out. Their rival Michigan State plays tomorrow. They'll take on LSU. Oregon against Virginia in action right now. 16 minutes left to go in that game. 35-29. Virginia is up by 6 against Oregon. Gonzaga against Florida State. That game finished up. That was the first game to play today. Finished up 72-58. It looks like Texas Tech will take on Gonzaga in the next round. That'll be on Saturday in the Elite Eight. Purdue won in overtime against Tennessee. So Purdue moving on into the Elite Eight. They'll take on the winner of Virginia against Oregon. 12 turnovers by Michigan. That's what's told the tale in this game. 5 turnovers by Texas Tech. Also, the shooting percentage, 48% from the floor by Texas Tech, 32% by Michigan. And total domination here by the Red Raiders tonight. Moving on to the Elite Eight. Leading the way, Jarrett Culver is the leading scorer right now, 17 points for the Red Raiders. 15 points by Davide Moretti. Still a perfect 3 for 3 and a perfect 5 for 5 from the field. And Matt Mooney with 10 points right now for Texas Tech. Here we are, back to action. Texas Tech with the inbound. They pass it now to the right corner of the perimeter. Double team trap finally set up by Michigan, though Texas Tech does break that and go past it. They pass that left side of the timeline here for the Red Raiders. As now they have it at the logo. Matt Mooney with the ball. He puts it into the hands of Jarrett Culver. Culver now trying to go with a burst of speed inside. Kicks it back outside. Open 3. It's a left corner 3. No good. Off the front part of the iron by Matt Mooney. Rebounded by Michigan. 7:10 left to go. Michigan with the ball. Iggy Brazdakis. And he puts that one home underneath the basket with 7:10 left. 56-33 right now. Texas Tech with the ball, right wing in that 3-point perimeter. They pass it right corner to Moretti. Goes back to the right wing. Here dribbling outside. 6:48 remaining. They have it at the free throw circle. No good, as that jumper couldn't fall down from Mooney. Rebounded by Michigan. Michigan takes it past the timeline with Eli Brooks. They feed it. Baseline, low post. Charles Matthews goes back outside now. He passes the ball. Left corner open 3. And Michigan cannot hit a shot to get an offensive rebound now. Matthews trying to take it inside. And a foul called on a reach-in committed by Texas Tech right before the shot was banked home by Charles Matthews. Michigan, just a terrible shooting display on open 3-ball shots. They are 0 for 14 tonight. brick after brick after brick. It is Brick City up here for the Wolverines. Michigan is at the free throw line, though, with Charles Matthews, a 64% free throw shooter, knocks down the first one. 56-34. 7 points tonight by Matthews, 2 for 8 shooting in tonight's game by Charles. Xavier Simpson has 0 points on the board, 0 for 4 tonight. Second shot goes down, still a long ways away in this one. 6:29 left to go. Simpson checks back in the game here for the Wolverines. Isaiah Livers with 0 points as well. 4 points by John Teskey. Iggy Brazdeikis with 17, but that's basically it for the Michigan Wolverines, as Jordan Poole has 6, Charles Matthews has 8. Here we are back to action. Texas Tech takes it past that timeline when Matt Mooney passes it to Moretti. Moretti now. Jumper at the top of the free throw circle. No good. Rebounded by Brazdeikis. 6 minutes left to go. Michigan with the ball. They are down by 21. Left wing three from the outside. No good. Ugly brick right there. Hit the front rim short. Offensive rebound, though. They have it left side baseline with the ball from Michigan. They pass it to Isaiah Livers into the hands of Jordan Poole. Pulling out. Spin move in the key. Kicks it back outside to Simpson. Simpson in the lane, laying it up. No good. He could not finish to the cup. Rebounded by Texas Tech. 5:40 left to go. Nothing going Michigan's way tonight at all from the very start. 6 for 17 shooting in this half as well. They'll be pleased when this game is finished. The season will end, and this has just been a domination today by Texas Tech. Michigan with the ball now in the free throw circle. Stolen away by Texas Tech, 56-35. Almost 5 minutes left to go in this game. Texas Tech inside, low post. Culver knocks it home. And it'll go to the line for one. Jarrett Culver leading the way right there for Texas Tech. Jarrett Culver with 19 points tonight. Jarrett Culver putting on a show here in the second half for the Red Raiders. Basically what he's done throughout the entire season here for Texas Tech. Culver's double-digit points in every single game but one of them. He's looking for his 20th point tonight. And he does. He connects with it. He has 20 right now. 23-point lead. Michigan with the ball. Lob pass is stolen away. These turnovers are piling up here for the Wolverines. Texas Tech just slowing down tempo. This game's been done for a long time. Virginia in a close one against Oregon. 35-34 with 13:50 remaining in that one. But this game, nothing but close. Texas Tech with the ball as they try to take it inside. Mooney, it's stolen from behind, though. Michigan with a steal and almost stealed back by, here we are, Matthews. Inside low post, banks at home for Michigan. 59-37. Texas Tech with the ball as they're trying to pass that timeline, and they do. 4:10 left to go. Moretti passes top of the key to Brandon Francis. He passes left wing of the perimeter here, Jarrett Culver. Culver with 4 minutes even left to go in the game. Culver trying to dribble baseline, feeds it off to his teammate. Bodies collide, but going to the free throw line to shoot two would be Tariq Owens. $59-37 here, folks. This game has been total domination by Texas Tech. Jarrett Culver, the reason why. 0 for 16, Michigan shooting the ball from behind the arc. Just horrendous today. Shooting the ball from the field, not much better. 32% shooting from the field. At least it's not in the 20s anymore. But Jarrett Culver leading the way for the Red Raiders. 20 points tonight for Jarrett Culver. 4 assists, 4 rebounds, and also 3 steals in this game for Culver. Coming into this game, Jarrett Culver was leading scoring. He was leading the scoring, rebounds, and assists in all 3 of those categories for Texas Tech. Culver ranked 3rd in the Big 12 in points scored per game, averaging 18.8 points per game coming into this one and 3.8 assists per game. And right now, Texas Tech is 3 minutes, 55 seconds away from moving on to the Elite 8. They'll take on Gonzaga. Oregon in a close one against Virginia, 35-34. Virginia is up by 1 against Oregon.
Oh, you referring to these little things? No, I was referring to the burger. Get the Sonic Brunch Burger or quarter-pound double cheeseburger and tots for $2.99. Going fast.
Everybody knows Enterprise picks you up.
Jarrett Culver just having an incredible game here for Texas Tech. 20 points, 15 points by Davide Moretti of the Red Raiders. Matt Mooney with 10 points tonight. So great game altogether by Texas Tech. Incredible defensive plan to take Michigan completely out of the game. 17 points by Iggy Brasdakis. So 17 out of the 37 scored by Iggy, but the rest of the teammates haven't been able to pick them up. Charles Matthews a little bit, 10 points, but other than that, 6 points by Jordan Poole, 4 points by John Teskey. Zeros all together on the bench with Isaiah Livers, Colin Castleton, and Eli Brooks. Looking at tomorrow's games, I'll be back. LSU against Michigan State. Join me for that one, 7:10 p.m. Eastern time tomorrow night with a tip-off in that game. Virginia Tech takes on Duke. That one tips off at around 9:40 tomorrow night or so. I'll be back for both of those games. Here we are at the free throw line here with Texas Tech. This is number 11, Tariq Owens. And he's at the free throw line. Shooting the ball this season is a 79% free throw shooter. Knocks it down. They put themselves a 60 spot on the board. Next one goes down 61-37. All-time tournament low in points for the Michigan Wolverines is 45 in the NCAA tournament. They've been held to 37 right now. Can they get there? They need 8 more points to tie it. Trying to go inside a low post. Michigan is fouled. So Charles Matthews will go to the line to shoot 2. 3:43 left to go. So here we are. First shot at the free throw line. Charles Matthews missed it. Still 61-37. That's not going to help towards getting towards that 45-point total. Second shot at the free throw line. That one he hits. 61-38. They get the inbound to Moretti. They do put it into the hands here of Matt Mooney. They pass the timeline, almost stolen the way the ball was tipped, but Texas Tech regains possession. They have the ball right wing perimeter. They put the ball into the hands of Moretti at the March Madness logo. 3.5 left to go. 61-38 in blowout fashion here. Texas Tech with the ball dribbling right wing perimeter. Now they're trying to take it inside! Exclamation point. Long gone. Two-handed jam. Total complete breakdown on defense by Michigan, allowing Jarrett Culver to go into the lane all alone for his 22nd point. Oh, what a block! Michigan trying to go inside with Eli Brooks and a flat-out rejection on the play. Let's see right here. Who was it? Matt Mooney? No, it was Texas Tech right there, huge block. It was Mooney who was trying to go for him, but it looked like the big man. Yeah, Tariq Owens, number 11, with a full-on grown man's block right there. 63-42 goes home in the paint right there for Michigan. 23 points, and that ball chucked out of bounds by Texas Tech. Michigan went for a double team trap there and forced the turnover. So that was really the only bad play we've seen in this game with Texas Tech today. Brandon Francis just got charged with that turnover for Texas Tech. Left wing three by Michigan. Another brick. They cannot hit a three-point shot today. That is not good. Rebounded by Texas Tech. We are 2 minutes, 25 seconds away from this one becoming the final. Texas Tech with the ball. Double team trap. Where was that defense earlier by Michigan? Texas Tech trying to find answers to it right now. Dribbling around the perimeter. They have it here at the March Madness logo. Widmore ready. 6 on the shot clock, 5 on the shot clock here. Culver with the ball with 3 on the shot clock. Culver, deep three, makes his move, and no good from the outside. Rebounded by Matthews of Michigan. They're down by 23. 2 minutes left to go. Matthews, top of the key here. Trying to make his move inside, kicks it back outside, and another three-point shot missed. That one hit the front part of the iron by Brazdeikis. No good. Rebounded by Texas Tech. This game has been long done for a while now. 63-40. Gonna update you guys with a score. We have a minute and a half basically left to go. Michigan will not be advancing to the Elite Eight like they did last year, where they played in the national title game against Villanova. Under 1:30 left to play. Texas Tech, deep three from outside. No good. Rebounded here by Michigan. They take it past the timeline for the Wolverines. Top of the key, Eli Brooks passes that one off. And we get a foul call. 1:17 left to go. Hey, no problem, Tim. Thank you so much, man, for coming back here. Yeah, this game is going to be done in like a minute or two from now. Midnight, basically, as the clock strikes midnight. So, yeah, I'll be getting ready to go to bed right after this. As Michigan is at the free throw line, they've just completely got destroyed today. Shooting the ball from the three-point range, Michigan is 0% today. 0 for 18 from three-point range. They've missed 18 shots from behind the arc. Texas Tech has attempted the same number, 18 shots. They've made 6 of them. Terrific game plan here on the defensive end all game long by the Red Raiders. Outscoring Michigan in the second half, 39-24. A 40 spot on the board with 1:17 left to go. Michigan just missed their first free throw at the line. Here's their second one with Charles Matthews. Matthews, and oh, that one rattled barely in. He got that one to fall. $45 points is an NCAA tournament worst for Michigan if they don't get to that number. They're at 41. Texas Tech takes it past the timeline here, putting in some of their subs into the game, but who's still in the game is Brandon Francis of Texas Tech. He has the ball with under a minute left to play. Yeah, but at the top of the key, 5 on the shot clock, top of the key 3. No good. Rattled out right there. $63-41 is the score. Michigan with the ball off the rebound. Top of the key as they get some new players in the game. CJ Bard with it, and that is another turnover right there. Austin Davis, who's also a bench player who plays a limited action, just turned over the ball. Virginia is up against Oregon, 40-39 with 9.5 left to go in that game. Very sad game here for Michigan. The journey will end today. 33 seconds from now, it will end. Texas Tech, they'll take on Gonzaga in the Elite Eight. Looking to inbound it here for the Red Raiders. They do. They put that ball into the hands of Andrew Sorrells, who has limited action. And it looks like we did have... Yeah, we have just a bunch of these bench players in the game. Number 0, David DeJulius, who's in the game for Michigan. So that was a turnover by Texas Tech. They give the ball back to Michigan here. Looking for somebody to pass it to. They find Austin Davis, who puts it into the hands of CJ Bard. Bard back to Davis. Deep three. No. Oh, he got it to fall. I thought that was a brick at first, but finally the first 3-point shot of the game goes down after 19 attempts for Michigan. They are 1 for 19 now. That should be the ball game. Texas Tech with the ball and 10 seconds left before they move on to take on Gonzaga in the Elite Eight on Saturday. There we have it. Calling it final. And Texas Tech with a win in this game, 63-44 against Michigan. The lowest point scored by the Michigan Wolverines ever in NCAA tournament history. That is a record now. The score they broke before that was 45, but they have broke that. It's 44. Has 1 for 19 from 3-point shooting. Would not be able to get the job done. Of course, it will not. 99.9% of the time, if you shoot the ball like that from behind the arc, it will never get the job done. But that's basically the end of the game here, just checking up on the team stats. Jarrett Culver leading the way, 22 points in this game for the Texas Tech Red Raiders. Join me back tomorrow night. LSU against Michigan State. I'll have that game for you guys in the call. March Madness action, play-by-play, Sweet 16 with Behind the Arc Basketball YouTube. Second game, Duke against Virginia Tech. Make sure to hit that like button down below. Subscribe as well. This has been another presentation of Behind the Arc Basketball on YouTube. Have a nice night, everybody.